a beautiful Wednesday night at Fenway Park. It's game 3 of a 4-game series with the Chicago White Sox. The Red Sox have yet to taste victory in the series tonight. It's a battle of left-handers. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is Dennis Eckersley. Garen Austin will be joining us in just a couple of moments. And, Eck, we're going to see the windup of last year from Eduardo Rodriguez. His rookie windup. He's made some alterations, working side sessions. We'll see how it pays off tonight.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot going on with him. And I tell you, I don't know what to expect from him tonight. You know, you talk about the windups, you talk about the tipping pitches, I talk about his repertoire, only throwing 2 pitches, but it hasn't gone very well 3 out of the 4 times he's been out there. And last time, you know, he's walking the number 9 hitter. Next hitter, Adam Jones, takes him deep. The home run ball's got him. He's given up 6 on the year. And then you see Machado take him to the deepest part of the ballpark. And once again, back-to-back hits. He leaves that ball game. The team he pitched well against was Baltimore, and they got to him there. But the whole thing was about tipping pitches. Do we know if he's doing that or not? But you look at his record, what he's done. It just hasn't been there. We're hoping this guy was going to be the number 2 starter of the staff, and right now he's holding on by a thread in this rotation.
Yep, another big start for a Red Sox starter here tonight. He'll be facing fellow southpaw Jose Quintana, who comes in with a 263 earned run average. It'll be a very big test for the Red Sox bats, which have been oh so quiet lately. Game 3 is coming up next from Fenway. Big bats booming here tonight at Fenway Park, and have certainly had opportunities, none greater than on Monday night with the bases loaded 9th inning. Everybody thought the ball game was over with Pedroia up there, but he strikes out. The Red Sox did not score and would wind up losing. Now, Hanley Ramirez yesterday with the bases loaded, also with a swing and a miss against Sale. He struck out. He's really scuffling. Robertson came in last night out of the bullpen. First pitch swinging with a couple of men on. Jackie Bradley grounds out to end that threat. And, Garen, that has been the way of it lately for the Red Sox offense, really in scuffling mode.
Well, that's right, OB. And today, John Farrell shook up the batting order with Hanley Ramirez batting 7th. The Sox have been held to 4 runs in 3 games. Here's John Farrell on trying to spark the offense tonight.
The thing that stood out to all of us is that through the first couple of months, we led baseball in runs scored. And in the American League, we were probably last in home runs. So if there's been a shift away from the all-field approach from a hitting standpoint, that might be involved here a little bit. When we take what the pitcher gives us, this is a very difficult lineup to pitch against. And frustration can maybe force guys to do some things a little bit extra or attempt to. So does that cause guys to go into pull mode a little bit? You know, that's what we have to kind of continue to remind our guys.
That's a tip there for these fans coming into Fenway. Look for that off-field hitting, trying to go the other way tonight against the very tough left-hander Quintana. Game 3 with the White Sox is on the way. Up game number 3 of the series. Big night for Eduardo Rodriguez, the left-hander. 1-2, looking to bring down that ERA at 6.97. The White Sox lineup he'll face, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Tim Anderson leads it off. He's at short. He homered here to start last night's game. Adam Eaton in center, Jose Abreu at first, Melky Cabrera in left. Todd Frazier has 20 home runs. He'll be followed by Brett Lawrie, and then Diana Navarro, the catcher. Avisail Garcia, the designated hitter, and Jason Coates in right field, batting ninth against the Red Sox starting pitcher. Presented by your New England Audi dealers. Rodriguez, after 3 straight poor outings, has gone to work on his delivery with pitching coach Carl Willis. We'll see if it pays off tonight.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Boston is 4th in the American League in defense, 34 errors in 70 games. You see the infield. Travis Shaw back at third, Bogey at short, Petey at second, Hanley Ramirez at first. In the outfield, Chris Young in left, Jackie Bradley Jr. in center, Mookie Betts in right. Behind the plate, Sandy Leon catching Eduardo Rodriguez.
Here's the judiciary. The umpires brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Mike Estabrook has the plate. Dana DeMuth at first, Ed Hickox at second, and Greg Gibson will make the calls at third base. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota Certified used vehicle right now. Another lovely night. We have had a string of them. 75 degrees right now and partly cloudy as we are set to get underway at Fenway. The Red Sox will wrap up the homestand tomorrow afternoon. Have to win these last two to finish at 500 on it. It really hasn't mattered if the Red Sox have faced name pitchers like Chris Sale or unknowns like Tyler Wilson. They have not been scoring. These last 8 games, they have scored 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run. This offense is a lot better than that.
Well, Farrell said, you know, when they scored runs, they didn't necessarily hit home runs. Maybe they get into that pull mode, but I haven't really necessarily seen that, especially from Pedroia. He's going the other way more than ever. But we have seen Bogarts try to hit the ball out of the ballpark a little bit more. Mookie's pulled the ball. So I don't know. I mean, that's a thought, especially against a left-handed pitcher that doesn't give up home runs. Hit the ball the other way.
Yep, that's Quintana. The Red Sox have already run up against once back in May, and he was dazzling in that effort. Tim Anderson about to climb in to lead things off. Hit his first major league home run last night on the first pitch he got from Clay Buchholz in the first inning. And we'll be seeing a different look out of Rodriguez tonight as he squares up and looks right at the batter. And the first pitch in there for strike 1.
Yeah, it's funny. Change up first pitch. You don't see that very often.
Anderson 3 out of 9 in the series. 22 years old from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Got to be a Crimson Tide fan.
Yeah.
Got to be. Eaton on deck and then Abreu for Chicago. And the 1-1. Slap to third. Shaw will scoop it up and get it. 1 man out.
Well, we're watching closely about, you know, this is last year on the left-hand side, this year on the right-hand side. You see that he's going back to the windup. This was the David Price windup you see on the right-hand side, but the glove, there's a lot to do with the glove and tipping, you know, and you see the hands real high with the glove on the left side last year, and then this year not quite as high. So there's a lot going on there. You could talk about it, you know, what he does to tip pitches, when he throws a fastball, when he throws an off-speed pitch. And the first thing he did was forget about that David Price windup, right? You know, now he's got more momentum carrying him to the plate. You know, there's got to have something to do with that right knee, the knee that he plants with.
Eating the batter, he jumps back out of the way. John Farrell talked about that tonight. He said it was a mental block about that knee and planting and everything, and he thinks he's over it now.
I mean, you've got to get over it because you won't finish your pitch. I mean, that's your landing knee. You got to get over the top of that to finish your pitch.
2-0 indicating a bunt, but taking a strike. Now 2-1 on Eaton, who's a .277 hitter with 3 home runs.
Well, you see the velocities there, 94, but I don't want to go too deeply into, you know, how he gives away pitches. I think that's what they worked on in the side, and I don't think they're really concerned about it like they were last year.
Slap foul, and I don't think, as we look at what they're working on Saturday in the bullpen, they're not that deeply concerned about the pitch tipping, to be honest with you.
It was awful last year. It was pretty obvious when he was going to throw an off-speed pitch, and you know, you see the glove goes up straight, and when it was flat, it was an off-speed pitch. When it was straight up, it was a fastball. But you have to be a hawk to watch, and every team has somebody on their team that picks it up. And just because one guy picks it up and tells everybody else, unless it's just clearly obvious, it's not that easy to do, especially if you don't do it on every pitch.
3-2 to Eaton, and he walks him high and tight for ball 4. I thought his biggest problem was that he was real obvious what he was going to throw next, and he was only throwing 2 pitches for strikes.
I mean, take your choice. There's
fastball, changeup.
Right, don't take your choice. And sometimes he'll throw his changeup a little bit too hard, but you know, when you're only throwing 2 pitches and you're a major league pitcher, a starting pitcher, you have to have more than that, and you have to be pretty awesome to just have 2 and get away with it.
That'll send up Abreu, 267 with 10 homers and 44 driven in. 1 for 4 with a double last night. White Sox have taken the first 2 of the series, and they came in playing quite poorly. Eden, a guy who will run.
Well, you'd think that they would try to hit and run more, but you got this big guy up there. You got to let him swing the bat.
Abreu with a 4-game hitting streak. He's 7 for his last 18, so he's starting to warm up. A strike. Red Sox pitching has been pretty good the last 2 weeks. ERA of 3.10, which is the second lowest in the American League over that span. Got to get back to swinging the shillelagh. Downstairs for a ball, 1-1.
The balls that you saw the numbers by Abreu here in Fenway Park, the balls he's hit hard. He's hit a couple home runs here opposite field into the bullpen. And you saw the double that he hit off of Kimbrel, that rocket that he hit. Game winner the first night in.
On a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He rides 1-1 and a strike. That picked up the corner.
Well, this ball looked like it was inside, but it ends up touching strike zone up there. A little high strike.
Abreu has been picking on the Red Sox in his 3+ years in the big league since he fled Cuba, hitting .338 against Boston. Rodriguez would like a double play ball. Here's a swing and a miss. He got him, throw down at first. Oh, almost got him. A strikeout of Abreu. And Leon came up gunning and nearly got eaten. And John Farrell was thinking about it.
First of all, he just fastball so far out of the strike zone. Abreu just chasing big time, but you see Sandy Leon coming out of there, almost get a double play. Close play at first. Eaton just gets back. Couldn't get the tag there in time.
So 2 down. And Melky Cabrera to climb in, hitting .281 with 6 home runs. He's driven in 33. They bat him out of the 4th spot. One of their 2 best hitters, and he'll take ball 1. Sox are just 7-11 in the month of June. They've already lost more games in June than they lost in either April or May. They went 14-10 in April, 18-10 in May. Runner goes, swinging a shot toward the alley in left center field. Nobody out there. That's on the track, and up against the wall is Jackie Bradley. Racing in to score is Eaton on the double, and it is 1-0 Chicago.
Boy, what a time to run right there by the White Sox. Gets a changeup. This changeup is middle, right down the middle. Gets him out front a little bit, but he gets the good part of the wood on this ball, and it gets into the gap easily. Eaton's going to score very easy on this play. A double by Milky. 1-0 White Sox again.
He found the alley. And once again, the Red Sox are playing from behind right away. Here's Frazier hitting right at 200, but 20 home runs. Tied for the American League lead in homers. He cuts and misses for strike 1. For Rodriguez, after a decent start on May 31st at Baltimore, that was his first start back after the knee injury. He's gone short. 5 2/3, 4 2/3, 4 1/3 innings. He's allowed 5, 4, and 5 earned runs. And he's been going backward in the innings load.
Well, I tell you, get a double getting up on a changeup. He says, forget about that. He goes to his fastball. 95 the last 2. Try to blow him away.
Frazier fans a lot. The 0-2. Brett Laurie on deck. 1-0 Chicago. Red Sox, even with their recent struggles, are only 1 game out of first place behind the Orioles. Everybody in the division lost last night.
They're going to be bunched there for a while.
Get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
1-2 home.
Oh, gotta have that.
Not a bad looking pitch at 95, but Estabrook didn't think so.
Oh, that's strike 3. That is so strike 3. I'm walking off the field. No complaints.
Frazier has 51 hits this season. 20 of them are homers. 2-2. Lunging at that, he looped a foul out of play.
Boy, he does have a good changeup. He throws it hard. 88-mile-an-hour changeup.
There are a lot of good changeups on his staff, aren't there?
Yeah, the rear. Everybody's got a changeup nowadays anyway. It's everywhere. Can't pitch without it almost.
Price has got a great one.
Yeah, he goes to it a lot.
The set by the lefty and the 2-2 to Frazier. And he gets him. That was a non-strike. But a run scores. 1-0 Chicago. Mookie Betts, Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts go 1-2-3. David Ortiz back in there tonight. Then Chris Young behind him. Jackie Bradley in center. Hanley Ramirez has been dropped to 7th in his slump. Travis Shaw 3rd, and Sandy Leon does the catching, batting 9th. The White Sox starting pitcher presented by GMC. The tough left-hander Jose Quintana.
The White Sox defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They're #1 in the American League in defense. 30 errors in 71 games.
Mookie 288, 15 homers, and 51 runs batted in out of the leadoff spot. But he is 0 for 8 in the series. Quintana just dazzled the Red Sox in Chicago back in May. Allowed only a solo home run to Hanley Ramirez over 8 innings as far as runs. Gave up only 4 hits.
Boy, he has had buzzard luck, not just this year, his whole career. No run support at all.
2-0 and a strike. Generous call by Estabrook. That looked like it missed.
He likes to throw that cutter, that glove side, into right-handed hitters. He just buries it in there.
The 2-1 to Mookie, and he pops it up. Right side of the diamond. Lowry, the second baseman, and backs into the outfield to make the play.
Yeah, back to the White Sox defense. It's brought to you by DraftKings. They're #1 in American League with 30 errors in 71 games. Around the infield, Todd Frazier at 3rd, Tim Anderson at short, Lowry at 2nd, Jose Abreu at 1st. In the outfield, left to right, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, Coates in right. Behind the plate, Navarro catching Jose Quintana.
Who squares off against Pedroia at 304 with 7 homers. He came back to life with the bat last night, going 2 for 4 to snap an 0 for 14. And he'll look at a strike. That's something Quintana does really well. He gets in front.
He really does. So it's a lot of strikes, not overpowering.
Got a low 90s fastball, change cutter, excellent curveball. Uses both sides of the plate very effectively. 6'1", about 220. But no run support, as you mentioned. Absolutely none. He probably would have had about 8 or 10 wins by now. A little jam shot foul by Pedroia.
Boy, he likes to do that a lot to right-handed hitters. You talk about trying to hit the ball the other way. It's hard to hit that the other way. This ball is just bearing down on Pedroia. It's a little cutter. Just keeps coming and coming. Slam that thing off your foot. He has trouble with his arm side. You know, it was like Lester. Remember, Lester threw so many cutters on the inside corner, he'd have a hard time dotting that outside corner, and he has a hard time with it, Quintana.
The 1-2 to Pedroia. Socked to center field, but it hangs up, and Eaton is right there. 2 up and 2 down. Red Sox have scored just 4 runs in the last 3 games. It's like somebody else has jumped into these Red Sox uniforms on the offensive side over the last 8 to 10 days.
But don't you think it was inevitable? I mean, you're thinking, well, if it's not a good pitcher, we should wear him out. It's easier said than done. I mean, there's been times there's fielders out there, they catch the ball sometimes.
Yeah, but I was hoping it wasn't inevitable.
You imagine if you just kept doing every May, just kept going on and on and on. 1,200 runs you'd score.
I'll take 800 or 900 though.
Oh, I'll take that, but that's a lot.
Xander Bogaerts 347 with 9 homers and 46 runs batted in. Lately, it's like someone has turned off the faucet.
Yeah, and especially early. Remember, that's all we ever talked about. You know, coming out of the gate, scoring 1 or 2 in the first. Boy, you give him 1 or 2 in the first, and he's going to win like he did last night. You see Chris Sale there.
The 1-0 pitch to Bogaerts is across for a strike, and he said that after the game. He said, when Anderson launched that home run, first pitch of the game, it sparked me. It gave me more energy right out of the gate.
Well, you give me a couple runs as a starting pitcher, boy, it just takes, it takes a lot of the pressure off right away.
Popped down the right field line. Here comes Coates giving chase, and he will make the play in fair territory to retire the side. Red Sox go 1-2-3 to Quintana. T-Mobile. This is American League leaders in ERA since the 4th of June. And the Red Sox, as mentioned, last couple of weeks pitching very well, all things considered, with a 3.10 ERA. In the American League, only the Indians have been a little better.
Well, you take that all year, that's for sure, and not have to worry about scoring so many runs.
No question. Brett Lawrie will lead things off. 226 with 7 homers and 26 runs batted in. Their second baseman. He's struggling. Hit a .129 in his last 16 games.
Well, I'll tell you right now, these guys, he's never faced the White Sox to begin with. So these guys aren't getting up there saying, hey, if he holds his glove like that, this is this pitch. They've never seen him before. They want to see this 95, and then they'll start thinking about picking up pitches.
Fouled out of play. He is making his first career start against the White Sox, but he's 4-0 against the AL Central with a 2.31 ERA. Here's a stat for you, too. Since 2015, Rodriguez is 9-3 in 15 night starts.
Yeah, you don't want him to start in the daytime.
Foul tip to the mitt. His ERA 2.35 as he strikes out Lawrie.
I'll tell you what, it's coming out of his hand, 94, 95, and it's on him. Little foul tip here, though, but back-to-back fastballs, he can't get there. Dracula, he can't get there.
Lexus is making a pledge to strike out hunger. For every K by Red Sox pitcher this season, Lexus donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Second strikeout for Erod brings up Diana Navarro, the catcher. 32-year-old from Venezuela. Getting just .212 with 3 homers. This is an opportunity for Rodriguez to really start to settle in. He gave up the run quickly, but he gets 6, 7, and 8. None of them tearing the cover off the ball by any means. 1-1.
Starts on the third base side of the rubber so he can get that outside corner. Gives him more room to run that ball away. A little changeup runs away. I'll tell you what, though, he's got some clean cheese tonight. His ball's coming out.
2-1. And that was 95.
Right. I mean, he's not no wild delivery. He's just nice and smooth.
He kicks in a 2-1. And he drops it in.
That is a nice throw right there. Just nicely done. Look at this. Just put this thing right there. I mean, that is gas.
Garcia on deck. Bases empty. 1 down. 1-0 White Sox in the second. Little pop toward right and run down by Pedroia off the end of the bat for out number 2. Bring your company to a Red Sox game this year and enjoy one of Fenway's special pregame spaces, accommodating as many as 200 guests. For tickets and more info, just visit redsox.com/groups. I think we got a break on the weather tomorrow.
Yeah, good.
Forecast about 5 days ago was, cats and dogs.
That's how it is around here. You start planning for it, and then the last day they said, nah, never mind.
Forget about it. We were only joking. It'll be a nice day as it turns out. Garcia lines that one foul. So tomorrow it's Rick Porcello against James Shields at 1:35. Porcello going after his 9th win. He's 8-2. And Shields trying to drop his ERA, which is 21.81.
Oh, that poor guy. I'll tell you what, Porcello, boy, did he pitch that 1 inning. That game was on the line. 2nd and 3rd, 2-0 game. Back to the gas right by Garcia. But that game, 2-0, he's losing to Seattle. 2 guys on 2nd and 3rd. Where's he get out? Cano, Cruz punches them both out, and then a weak ground ball. That was the game.
And in fact, in the first inning, he had the bases loaded and facing Cruz and got out of that with minimal damage.
So in other words, 2 runs. That's all. It was good pitching to get out of that.
Very gutsy. Very gutsy.
You can go look back. If he goes on a run right now, you go right back to that, because he could have lost that game right there.
Didn't walk anybody.
He's had a nice year. He really has.
I think you're right. Underrated. An underrated season for Porcello.
Rodriguez trying to make it a quick inning. trying to get that ball inside, missed badly. His arm angle sort of just dropped down a little bit.
Garcia scored the game-winning run in Monday's wrenching Red Sox loss. He walked to start that inning and came in to score. 1-2 pitch. Check swing, and that missed to make it 2-2.
If he was set up outside, that was a strike. But he just can't seem to run the ball inside. That's why it'd be nice if he had a cutter or something. But you see that's a strike.
You're right. Should have been.
He just can't get that ball in on a right-hander right now. Because his arm feels pretty good. There's a lot of life to that arm.
He's throwing a little bit harder tonight, too.
I see it.
Maybe with this new-looking windup. Fly ball into right. Plenty of room for Mookie Betts. 1, 2, 3 they go. Sox coming up, down 1-0. Brought to you by Lowe's. David Ortiz, a 15-game hitting streak at Fenway, sitting .436 during it with 4 homers and 18 RBIs. And will lead off the second inning against Quintana. 1-0 Chicago. Chris Young and then Jackie Bradley after David. Hanley Ramirez hitting 7th tonight. And in for strike 1. Ortiz 2 out of 15 against Quintana in his career. Big Papi resting most of last night. He came up as a pinch hitter with 2 out in the 9th inning and took a walk. 1-1.
It's funny, like a lot of teams do the same thing in the outfield for Ortiz. They pinch the outfielders, give them the down the lines.
The lefty's 1-1, and it hits the corner, according to the home plate umpire. And David wants to make sure that's going to be a strike all night.
David, he can eyeball everything. He knows when it's a ball. He thinks this ball's low. He's right.
Ortiz with a 7-game hitting streak. He's one of the few Red Sox offensively who's had a good homestand. And he won't chase. 2-2.
Boy, he knows the strike zone. He just, I'll tell you, never seen anything like it. Still got good eyeballs at 40 years old.
It's not the only thing in good working order the way he's powering it. 18 homers. He rips that one down the line, but foul. On a changeup. He ripped it, but foul.
Whatever he's hitting, it's a hard 340. He's hit so many balls hard. This is a changeup. coming right back to him, and he's way out in front of it. That's why he couldn't keep it fair.
3-2.
But don't they say that's one of the things that goes too? I mean, your eyesight.
Well, you know, you're well over 40. It hasn't happened to you. I'm well over 40. It hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, the glasses to read starts at about 45, doesn't it?
The readers. The 3-2. And he walked him. That's a rarity for Quintana. Good start for the Red Sox here in the second inning. It's winning Wednesday. If the Red Sox win, Plainridge Park Casino donates $777 to the Relay for Life of Greater Attleboro. Young will step in, backing up Ortiz tonight. Hitting out of the 5 spot. On the topic of left fielders, Brock Holt is getting closer to returning. He's played a couple of games with the Paw Sox, a couple of doubles and infield hit yesterday. He was here earlier tonight, feeling much better. It's a guy that the Red Sox have missed way more than a lot of people thought they were going to miss him a month ago.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This guy at the plate's done a nice job. I mean, and you forgot all about him with the way he's been swinging the bat. I mean, I'm surprised that Chris Young, especially with the way the season started, you didn't think he was going to get much playing time just against left-handed pitchers, but he's gotten more and more opportunities, done a nice job. But we have missed Brock Holt desperately.
Because of that ability to play multiple positions, you could rest some guys who are slumping by using Brock Holt. Unable to do that as he's been out with a concussion. I would bet, and no one has said this, but I would bet Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay series coming up after the Texas series, that's when you'd see him.
Good. Sooner the better. The bench is so thin to begin with.
Yeah, painfully so. The 2-1. Foul tip to the mitt.
See how he wears out that inside corner to right-handed hitters? This thing is in, up and in. He can't get there.
2-2 on Young. And fouled back. He is 1 for 9 against Quintana in his career.
Boy, he missed right there. Just trying to paint him down and away. He throws it right down the middle. I mean, he misses bad. This ball's a good pitch to hit. But he's late.
Nobody out. Ortiz aboard. And that's popped up and playable. Here comes the first baseman Abreu to put that one away. One away tomorrow night. Tune in to Nesson. Paw Sox will take on the Syracuse Chiefs. That's tomorrow night at 7 right here on Nesson. Brock Holt will be in that lineup. One away, Jackie Bradley will step on up, hitting .340 in night games, which is #1 in the American League. Jackie has hit 2 home runs on a homestand, but he's just 6 for 27 on it, with 2 RBIs in 8 games, so he's cooled off. You take the third baseman Frazier way off the line, and it is high for ball 1. Chicago in front 1-0. And an RBI double by Melky Cabrera to bring in Eaton in the first inning against Erod. Tell you what, personally, I love how fast all of the White Sox pitchers, with the exception of Gonzalez, how all of them work.
Totally. I mean, this guy Sale last night was almost too fast. He was a little sloppy with his mechanics. It almost was misfiring a lot.
But he misfired to the tune of 7 innings, 9 punchouts, and a victory, and his 12th.
But he a lot of 3-ball counts. You know, a lot of balls he missed up and away to right-handed hitters, like not even close.
Boy, that's sloppy. The 3-0 in for a strike. I'll take that any day of the week.
He's a sloppy 12-2.
If I'm a White Sox fan, I'll take that.
You think he was at his best last night?
I didn't think so.
Right. Okay.
I thought he was really good.
Okay, but he
except for 1 inning.
Okay. Right.
He gave up 3 hits. He got hit hard in one particular inning. There was only one. Check swing and a foul. Closer look at Chris Sale, the first 12-game winner.
Probably going to see a punch out, you think? Yeah, a little high cheese. What we got here? Another high cheese. Hanley did him a lot of favors last night. Then he's got that thing down and in. Forget about it. That is nasty.
Yeah, Hanley on deck, really scuffling.
He wasn't sloppy. He was pretty good.
Check swing. He thought about it, but that'll miss. How about that? 2 walks in the inning from Quintana, who had walked only 18 men in 92 and a third innings.
Well, he probably wants this. This ball looks like it's got the plate. You see Navarro pull it back down. He didn't need to pull it down. He needed to pull it in.
You know, since he beat the Red Sox in early May, he's only won once since then. As you pointed out, it's run support, awful run support. He's the first White Sox starting pitcher in their history to receive 0 or 1 run of support in 7 consecutive starts.
So he's got
Ramirez
5 runs in the last 7 starts.
It's been that bad. He's been pretty good. Hanley tried to hold up, but a swing and a miss, and that is strike 1.
He just ties up right-handers galore. I'm sure he doesn't face a lot of left-handed hitters. He's walked 2 left-handers this inning because he doesn't face a whole lot of them.
Hanley Ramirez 0 for 8 in the series with 5 strikeouts. He struck out with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning yesterday. This is the lowest in the batting order he has appeared all season. In the 7th spot, and that's in for a strike. Hanley hit a home run against Quintana in Chicago. It's the only run the Red Sox got in that game. Ortiz at second, Bradley at first, 1-0 Chicago in the 2nd.
Got him.
He struck him out.
I mean, you have no chance after he's thrown 2 balls inside like that. And he dots the outside corner. That probably looked like it was a mile away from Hanley after those balls inside. And that's got the plate. Easily has the plate. Hanley scuffling after last night. Punched out 3 times. Crucial situations last night.
0 for 9, 6 strikeouts against Chicago. So Travis Shaw now 272 with 7 homers. He does have protection on that right shin area. Fouled the ball off viciously last night. Did not look like he was going to be able to continue for a while. He gutted it out. Actually got a double after that.
Yeah, he got a double.
He's 0 for 6 against Quintana.
Man, that's what happens when you go real quick. Did you see the double last night? Well, this is the foul ball, and I'll tell you, he took forever. He got on his hands and knees, and then he gets if he gets down on his hands and knees, he was there for 5 minutes, wasn't he?
Yeah, at least,
easily.
yeah.
And then took a walk to first base, walked around.
Strike 2.
And that was the at bat that he got the double. Later on in that at bat, was
no,
no, it was later on
a
in the
little
game.
bit later,
right.
but he stayed in the game. He also made a nice sprawling stab at first base after the injury.
Right.
Back in there tonight, hitting out of the 8th spot. Now he's in the hole though. 0-2 to Quintana. Travis went 2 for 4 in that game, and he has reached base in all 8 games on the homestand.
You almost have to give this pitcher last sign just so he stays there.
The 1-2 fouled away. Red Sox fans, fill out your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot right now at RedSox.com. You can vote up to 35 times. A number of Sox are in the hunt, so be sure to vote early and often at RedSox.com/vote.
Talking to some of the people with the White Sox, they just rave about Quintana. Never changes, you know, never varies, always the same guy. Just consistent, regardless if he gets runs or not. He just keeps doing his thing.
Is 1-2 to Travis Shaw now, with 2 men aboard. And oh, to catcher.
Whoa.
Navarro thought for sure he had a strikeout. He was up and out of the crouch and heading for his dugout. Well, you don't see that every day.
No. You see the pitcher take off. I've seen both of them take off before, but this looked to me like he dotted it near and let's go home.
2-2. Loop towards center. Dropping down for a base hit. Here comes Big Poppy. Gonna wave him in. The throw, and he slides in. He is out at home. Cut down on the throw. Not a great throw either. Navarro backed up to get a hop. And Eaton gets him. So despite the shot to center field, the Red Sox do not score. That's the way it's been going lately for this offense. 1-0 Chicago. And Steve Lyons will break down the ball game. You'll also hear from Erod and from John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but W.B. Mason. Alex Spear, 108 stitches, and the Boston Globe joining us in the booth. Great to have you with us.
Thanks so much. Great to be here, guys.
1-0. Chicago has the lead as we go to the top half of the third inning. And Alex, you're watching Erod's newfound delivery here as that one is hit deep to right field. Continues to sail. It'll jump up into the stands. And Coates will have not only a double, but his first major league hit. He had been 0 for 12 at the big league level.
Well, we've seen first big league home runs last night by Tim Anderson. Now we got first big league hit. Fastball away. Obviously he's not going to try to pull, but he puts a charge into this ball. Hits it way over the head of Mookie Betts, because he's going to catch anything out there.
Struggles against right-handed hitters have become such a hallmark of what's gone wrong for Rodriguez this year. And I think that it starts with the fact that he hasn't had his changeup working at all against them this year, maybe because of tipping issues that were happening with the other delivery.
Anderson steps in and takes a ball.
But you look at the number of home runs that have already been hit against him by right-handed hitters. 6 already this year. That's how many he gave up in 21 starts to right-handed hitters last year. Right-handers are teeing off. I think on his changeup they're hitting well over 300 against him this year. Last year they weren't hitting 200 against him.
Well, one thing is the location with his changeup. You see that one right there, and sometimes it's a little too hard. You know, 88 miles an hour. There's not that great of a split with it. He gets some movement on it sometimes.
But it seems like it has less movement than it did a year ago, and there's just been less explosiveness of his stuff across the board. You mentioned the fastball that he used for a punch out against Brett Lawrie up in the zone. That's
right.
Something that we saw a lot of. That was his hallmark, really, when he made his debut in those first few starts. It was like, wow, the guy who can just overpower fastballs up in the zone. But when you don't mix it with the slider and the changeup effectively, it becomes a less powerful pitch.
A strike here on Anderson.
But we don't see the slider. You just don't see it. Cutter, slider, nothing.
It's strange because he had talked so much entering this year about what an important point of emphasis that was going to be. That ability to get that breaking ball in on the hands of righties, and really to make for a very uncomfortable at bat working inside.
Well, made a good pitch on Anderson there. Fastball to strike him out. One man gone.
Well, he's got some giddy up though. I don't care what the miles per hour say at all. This ball sort of jumped up in the zone, got on Anderson, threw it by him.
And again, you're seeing guys swing under that fastball that's up waist high or above, and that's where you see that kind of little extra bit of spin and carry that's getting him through the zone.
Adam Eaton walked and scored in the first inning. He scored on a Cabrera double to get Chicago the 1-0 lead they hold right now. Alex, what do you make of the Red Sox struggles on offense here, particularly on this homestand?
It's been striking because so often we assume that the hallmark of elite teams is their ability to win all kinds of games. The Red Sox have obviously shown an ability to win shootouts when they're putting up 5+ runs. That's great, but they haven't really shown.
Slap to the right side. That'll advance the runner. Pedroia on to Hanley Ramirez and safely into third base. Coates with 2 away.
They just haven't shown any consistent ability to win low-scoring games like this one thus far this year. I believe that since the start of May, they're now something like 1-16 in games in which they've scored 4 or fewer runs. You have to be able to win those games if you're going to be beating the best teams in the game.
I think the other thing that you're kind of looking for in tonight will be another opportunity. Beat really good pitchers. Every once in a while, if you're going to be a pennant winner, if you're going to be a team that goes deep into October, you got to beat a number 1. You got to beat an ace. I think Quintana is a number 1 kind of pitcher.
I'm with you. And their record in those games where they've scored 4 or fewer, the games that are kind of you typically find yourself in against guys like Sale and Quintana, they're 5-22 when they don't score 5 runs. That's the 3rd worst record in the majors when teams score that few runs. That puts them in the company with teams like the Twins, teams like the Braves, teams like the Reds. Those are the other 3 teams that have a winning percentage that's that poor when they fail to score 5 runs. And so that's not the company you want to be keeping.
Here's Abreu. He whiffed his first time up, and he'll take a ball.
But we saw that run of home runs that they hit. Remember, it was unbelievable. They broke the record, whatever, in May with the home run thing. And you talk about when they did it right, were they hitting the ball the other way? I mean, and you saw it because Bogarts can do it, Betts can do it, and obviously Pedroia. Is that a different approach now? Are they trying to pull or what?
John Farrell wondered that same question. He did think that maybe as they're struggling offensively, guys are looking to manufacture a little bit more offense, generate it by themselves a little bit more, rather than trusting the next guy to be able to capitalize on a situation with a runner in scoring position.
I thought that was a great failing of last year's team.
No doubt.
And if they've reverted back to that, they've got to get it going the other way again immediately.
These blips happen during a baseball season, though, so you wait to see whether or not this is a blip or it's something more.
Topper, Shaw bobbles it. No play at first, and a run comes in to score to make it 2-0 Chicago.
Boy, he looked like he was going to make that play so easy. Such a weak ground ball. It just sort of takes a little bounce, a little funny bounce on him. Comes up off his heel. I don't know if he took his eye off it or what, but this was such an easy play. But meanwhile, it cost them a run.
That'll be an error. And 2-0 White Sox. And the Red Sox are in another hole here pretty early on with Melky Cabrera to climb in, a runner at first base, as we chat with Alex Spear of the Boston Globe tonight. And he'll look at a strike. I think we're all looking for those early runs again to get back to the trend the Red Sox had established in April and May, even the very early days of June. Getting out in front, scoring in the first inning, second inning, taking pressure off the starter. There's no doubt that happens, but it's not been happening lately.
And exactly, we've seen, I believe, the other team scoring first in 7, 8 straight games at this point. So the exact opposite of what was such a crucial formula for success for the Red Sox. It's been inverted essentially.
Cabrera with an RBI double in the first inning. Won't chase that one high and wide. And you look at this upcoming trip, Alex, and got to go to Texas right away. And anybody having to go to Texas has a tall order the way they're playing.
They have been unbelievable. If you look, I think they're on pace for something like 103 wins this year right now. They have just taken off and have one of those teams that really does right now look like it could be the class of the American League, just because they have something of everything. You know, they have some thumpers in the middle of the order. They do have some pretty good pitching on all sides of things.
Toward the hole, Bogarts with a backhand throws into second, gets the force play to retire the side. Alex, always a treat. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Alex Beard, 2-0 Chicago.
Park, bottom of the third, the White Sox with a 2-0 lead. I'm Garen Austin. Hello, everyone. Well, Sandy Leon is 10 for 16 on the season, and I talked to him today, and he said he's been feeling really good. He said he's been working really hard for the past year, and that during spring training, he spent a lot of time with hitting coach Chili Davis working on his batting stance. He said he's seeing pitches a lot better, and guys, he said he hopes to keep this up.
I think everybody feels the same way, the way he's swinging the bat, Garen, and going to the opposite field as well, as he did a couple of times on this homestand. He's 5 for 10 on the homestand. Leading off the third.
You'd love to have him hit because he can catch. I mean, he really can catch. I think the pitchers have a lot of confidence in him.
This is unexpected, though, what he's been doing with the bat. I know it's a short sample. You're talking about 10 for 16, but he batted 184 last year.
Yeah, he didn't swing the bat well at all. And for him, give him some confidence at the plate.
In for a called strike from Quintana. So far, he's allowed 1 hit. He's actually walked 2 men. Mookie Betts on deck. And the lefty's 2-1. Another 3-ball count.
Boy, you hate to see Ortiz coming around third base. You knew there was going to be a play at the plate because he can't run at all. It looks like his feet are killing him. Not even a good throw threw him out, right?
Wasn't even a good throw as well behind the plate. And that'll be ball 4. I'll tell you what, he's wild by his standards tonight. The Red Sox had better take advantage of this because this doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. And they missing badly to the number 9 hitter says a lot.
Quintana has been Mr. Invisible the last few years. One of the better arms in the American League, and yet nobody ever talks about him.
No, you completely forget about him.
Mookie 0 for 1. He has popped up to second. Mookie has yet to take ball 4 on this homestand. DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSN at DraftKings.com.
You hear him grunt out there every time he throws it.
Ball 2. He's falling behind Betts. Bit of an oddity about Mookie because he's having such an outstanding year. 15 homers, 51 runs batted in. Lefties have tied him up. He's hitting 167 against left-handers.
He goes out there to get it.
Up the middle, diving play Lowry, and throws it away. Everyone's going to be safe. It rolls to the third baseman Frazier. Leon into second. He had an out to get there, but did not get it.
Well, you got to give him credit for getting to this ball, but you wonder if he just would have made it, just got up on his knees and flipped it and did go, you know, behind his back. I mean, I think he could have gone either way, but he decided to be cute there, and the throw gets away from him. He could have underhanded it right to him, but I guess he tried that. He's probably worked on that a few times, but when it doesn't work, it looks ugly.
Yeah, it needs a little more work. It's like watching Steph Curry the other night with that around the back pass in Game 7. You're like, what on earth?
Right.
What's going on there? Here's Pedroia now. Maybe an open door for the Red Sox. That will be an infield hit. Runners at first and second for Petey, who is flying to center. Just 2 for 13 against Quintana. He did have a couple of hits last night. We'll see if he is out of his skin. Red Sox trail 2-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, you got to take advantage of this right now. Leadoff walk, 9-hitter. Almost a double play ball.
April and May was routine for the Red Sox to make teams pay after stuff like this. The 1-1. Liner, base hit. Leon into third, and will stop there. The bases are going to be loaded with nobody out on the single by Pedroia.
Well, Pedroia does it again. What new? He's been doing this all year. Little change up, down and away. This ball's outside. Look at him reach for this thing. Barely gets wood on it, but enough for a little line drive, semi-line drive into right field. Hit the dirt, didn't get all the way to the outfield. It's a beautiful thing. Bases loaded.
You know, the way things have been going lately, I almost hesitate to say the bases are loaded for the Red Sox.
And nobody out.
And nobody out. But here comes Bogaerts, the #1 hitter in the league. 0 for 1 with a fly to right. And the league's top man with runners in scoring position, hitting .387. A golden chance for the Red Sox right away, and he'll take a strike. Ortiz on deck. Xander has just 1 extra base hit on the homestand, so quite cool by his standards. 7 for 30 on the homestand. He's not alone. It's time for this Red Sox offense to bust loose.
He knows he likes to come in, but he started him off away. He's not afraid to come in.
A man at every base, and the 0-1 pitch from Quintana. Slap foul. 0-2.
Didn't get it in, but he beat him on a fastball.
Two strikes on the X-Man. And it's inside. He just went softer there. A curveball at 78, but he missed. Been a different Quintana, though, as you look at Xander with the bases loaded.
Well, he's looking for a ground ball right here. How's he going to get it? He's going to go back in there, or is he going to try to change away?
1-2. Shot. Driven down the line, headed for the wall. That slams into the monster. Leon is in. Here comes Betts in. This game is tied.
Well, he tried to come in with a sloppy little curveball right there. That's easy work there by Bogaerts. But you see how the pitches went here. He threw him a fastball away for a strike. Comes inside with a fastball, beat him, left it out over the plate. Pitch he could have hit. 2 strikes on it. He throws a curveball down and in. What are you going to do now? Another curveball down and in, and he just cleans it out of there. No big deal. This ball's off the wall in a heartbeat. Boing. 2-run score. 2-2. Bogarts is back.
I would say so. Great that you do your own sound effects too. So the Red Sox have tied it up. Nobody out. First and second for Big Papi, who took a walk in the second inning. What a nice sight that was to see, a ringing double with the bases loaded. And now Ortiz trying to keep that line moving. 339, 18 homers, 59 runs batted in. 521 home runs for the big fella. Tied for 19th all time. Sharply hit base hit. Here's Pedroia rounding third. The Red Sox have the lead. Xander down to third base. It is 3-2. RBI number 60 for Ortiz.
It doesn't take long, man. He's just going to wail on this. He gets a fastball down and in, and he just hits a bullet. He's seen that pitch before, down and in. This is a fastball, though, this time. One was a changeup the first time up. Abreu has no chance with a dive. First and third. You see Pedroia scores easily. Bogarts had to wait for the ball to pass him by, but he still went to third base.
That is 4 consecutive Red Sox hits to take the lead 3-2. And send up Chris Young. Still nobody out. Runners at first and third. He's 0 for 1 with a pop-up. And pops it up again. And once again, it's the first baseman Abreu there to put it away. So 1 gone. Jackie Bradley next. Jackie first time took ball 4. Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games. Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace at RedSoxReplay.com. The best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. Jackie in his career 3 for 9 against Quintana. Bogarts at third and Ortiz at first with 1 away. And he'll look at a soft strike, not a curveball at 78. Red Sox in front.
Got to pick up this run right here.
The 0-1, he did not offer. 1 ball, 1 strike. One stat that jumps out at you on Jackie Bradley, this is in his career now. The Red Sox are 21-3 when he hits a home run. He has a dozen on the year. 2-1. And last time the Red Sox saw Quintana in 8 innings, he faced 3 batters in 6 of those innings. Just mowed down the Red Sox. That is not happening tonight.
They got to pick up that run. Fly ball. He's trying to lift one.
2-2.
Kind of hard to lift one off the ground.
The slumping Hanley Ramirez on deck. Boston trying to pick up another run with Bogarts 90 feet away in the 2-2. Off the middle, it skips into center field for a base hit. Off the pitcher, Xander scores, and the Red Sox lead it 4-2. I remember these guys. These are the Red Sox back to life offensively.
He got knocked. That ball was off of Quintana. Didn't knock it. It was hit so hard it didn't slow it down. Look at right off the inside part of his leg. He tried to throw that fastball in, left it right down the middle. He hit it right back at him. Kind of caught his leg a little bit. I thought it slowed it down. He turned back around. That ball's into center field.
Nutmegged him.
Man.
First and second, 4 runs in as the Red Sox are pouncing on Quintana. And it's in for a strike on Hanley. He struck out looking in the second inning. This is the guy the Red Sox are desperate to get going. That average has trickled down to 264. He is a far, far better hitter than that. Foul ball. Hanley has hit 1 home run in his last 37 games.
We'll just take a base hit. He doesn't have to go bridge here.
Looking for his first hit of the series. 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. Ortiz at second.
Got to hit a double to score Ortiz.
Jackie Bradley at first. And Quintana's 0-2. Hard hit. Shortstop down for it. Flips. Got that out, and on to first. Got that out. They turned the double play. But the Red Sox score 4 times. A crooked number up there. 4-2 Boston. Is now in the game at third base for Travis Shaw, and he'll bat 8th. And this is earlier now, and Shaw was in the game. And watch him hop a little bit. Remember last night he drilled that foul ball off the right shin.
It's got to be. That's the right side he's limping on.
I was amazed he continued to play last night and was in the lineup again today. But now out as Frazier takes a strike. So run support for Rodriguez. As we're into the 4th inning and the Sox are on top 4-2. Frazier struck out in the 1st inning. He'll be followed by Lowry and then Navarro. We'll get you an update on Travis as soon as we can. But it's bound to be that leg that he battered last night.
He doesn't want to cost them on a play. He already made an error on the one ball, that little weak ground ball. So I don't think he wants to do any damage.
1-1 in there for strike, and indeed they have announced a right shin contusion. That's from last night for Travis, who did get a single, by the way. Frazier with a home run last night into the monster seats, so he's taken over the American League home run lead. He skies a pop to right. Mookie Betts plenty of time to get there and makes the catch. Tomorrow at 12:30, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Steve Lyons will be celebrating the anniversary of Manny Ramirez's 501-foot home run. 501, Eck.
How do they know that? Went over the net. It was far.
1 out for Lowry, who has struck out 0 for 1. Native of British Columbia.
Big shutdown inning right here for Rodriguez.
He has allowed 2 runs, 2 hits to this point. Here's the 0-1. Lowry made his major league debut in 2011 with Toronto. Native Canadian. The 1-1 pitch.
See that ball running, got a little run on it. Got to get on top. You'd like that run, but he drops his arm down just a hair sometimes.
His 2-1 pitch. Rodriguez has 11 wins in his first 25 career games. That's the most by a Red Sox pitcher since Daisuke won 13 in 2007. We don't have many Daisuke references.
Well, he won 18 in 2008, right? That's the best year he had.
Fouled away, which I thought was amazing. I thought he was as well managed. And that was by Terry Francona and John Farrell, who was the pitching coach at the time.
It wasn't pretty. I mean, but he won 18 games. I think he was 18-5, but he didn't throw a lot of innings that year, 2008. I bet he threw, what, 170 maybe?
I think he averaged about 5 2/3.
Right.
For 18 wins. It's kind of incredible. Pop to short right. Pedroia out. Coming on Betts. Mookie wants it. 2 down. And it'll send up the number 7 hitter Navarro. Now tomorrow is Wally and Tessie Beach Towel Day at Fenway. All kids 14 and under receive a free Wally and Tessie Beach Towel courtesy of Hood. For tickets and more info, visit redsox.com/promos or call 877 Red Sox 9. Boy, another beautiful night here. Red Sox on top 4-2. The offense has come back to life. And a strike.
He's just pretty much throwing fastballs right now. Beat Frazier, beat Lowry on those pop-ups. Just fastballs that they can't catch up with.
Not much power on a Navarro. He's hit 3 home runs. Trying to hold up. Did he go? He did not, says Dana DeMuth. Navarro was Tampa Bay's regular catcher between 2007 and 2010. He was a favorite of Joe Madden's there. He helped get them to their only World Series in 2008. A lot of people forget Tampa Bay's gone to a World Series.
Right.
Against the Phillies, they lost that year.
Got that ball in on the right-handed hitter. He's had trouble doing that. That's the time when you try to throw a cutter in there. He threw 95 inside. He's feeling real good about his fastball.
Looking for his 5th K here.
Back to gas in. Air it out.
1-2. Yes, indeed. 96 on the gun.
Yes.
1, 2, 3 they go. 4-2 Red Sox. Sox in their 71st game of 1986. The Red Sox would beat the Orioles 5-3. Roger Clemens improved to 14-0 as he went 8 innings and struck out 11. 14-0.
And what, June 22nd, right? 14-0. You think he started the All-Star game?
Well, here's Marrero to lead off the 4th inning, his first at bat, coming on to replace Travis Shaw, who had to exit because of that contusion on the shin. Against Jose Quintana, who the Red Sox knocked around last inning to the tune of 4 runs. And it started off by walking Sandy Leon. He's already walked 3 men.
That leadoff walk, I'm telling you.
Nothing good ever comes of a leadoff walk, Eck. That's a strike. Marrero, then Leon, and then Betts. Mookie Betts had a hit in that uprising last inning. So did Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts, David Ortiz, Jackie Bradley. Right to the third baseman Frazier, who will sling it over in time for the out. Let's check in with Garen.
Thanks, OB. This group of ladies behind me, we've all been at the ballpark all day for the 2nd annual Girls of Summer event. It's a unique opportunity for these diehard Red Sox fans to kind of go behind the scenes here at Fenway Park. Today we took BP. We've been in the cage. It's been a really exciting day. Not even the rain stopped us. And actually, Patty up there, she flew up from Orlando, and she's skipping her husband's 40th birthday to be here today.
Wow, that's big. And working with the big league coaches there. And Brian Butterfield, and Carl Willis, Chili Davis. That's quite a day.
She was so proud of it. Garen was talking about, oh, I hit it so many times. I thought they were pitching it to her. She hit her off the tee. What's the big deal? How tough is that?
Don't run that down. I mean, I thought her swing looked really good.
I thought somebody was throwing her BP the way she talked.
Like at about 85? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know, but she said I made contact with all of them.
Come on, Eck, I was being pitched to.
That's being pitched to?
Well, that's off the tee there.
All right. There were 2 of them. There were 2 of them.
Okay.
I was proud of that. I did pretty well. At least I thought I did.
Yeah, you did.
You did great, Garen.
I'm just
Thanks,
hard.
guys.
Great.
You just told the wrong guy.
Well, that's the truth.
That's hard. But I did think she got thrown to. What did you think? I took BP.
I thought she did. I thought she took some live tosses in the cage. And that'll be ball 4. So Leon draws his 2nd walk, and it's a 4th by Quintana.
That says everything about Quintana. I mean, this guy has got great control. 4 walks on the night.
He's been off. The Red Sox catching him at a good time. Although the Red Sox really needed a night like this, the way it's working. 4 runs, 6 hits, have accepted 3 free passes, and that'll bring up Mookie Betts, who has popped to second and singled on the infield, his first hit of the series. Mookie had a very good series against Seattle before this one, 6 for 13 with 2 homers. And he'll take a ball inside. 4 walks are a season high for the left-hander Quintana.
He only walked 18 guys in close to, what, 100 innings almost coming in.
A 1-out walk to Leon has him aboard at first. And a strike.
He makes some sound every time he throws the baseball. You think he was Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan used to do that all the time.
He was a big grunter, wasn't he?
Oh, he'd grunt when he threw a changeup, trying to fake you out.
Well, his changeup was 94. Nolan Ryan, one of the first guys I can remember watching who threw over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. Listen. I used to grunt every once in a while when I thought I was bringing it.
A 2-1. Oh. That one tagged. Head of the wall. High off the monster. Leon heading into third. Mookie to second base. He is there with a stand-up double. Second and third. Second hit of the ball game from Mookie.
This is what we've been missing. This is what we've been missing. Some hot shots off the wall. Cross seam fastball. Middle. It should get smoked. And Mookie smokes his ball. Can't get it up high enough to get out of here, but 3/4. Ooh, almost top of the wall.
These last 2 innings, Red Sox getting some great swings off Quintana. Pedroia looking to add to that and add to the lead. He has singled and fly to center, 1 for 2. And 2 hits last night, so that average going up again.
Infield.
There comes Cooper. Their bullpen is up.
Well, this is just all about letting the bullpen get ready. That's all there is to it, because it kind of happened pretty quick.
Beck is up. They had Albers up earlier. And Quintana's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers.
It's a little lunch piece he's got going on here. You talk about 11 base runners in 3 1/3. This is a guy with a whip of about just 1 on the year.
Last 3 seasons, Quintana has thrown 200 innings every year. He's made at least 30 starts every year, putting him in a class of 4 to do that, along with Max Scherzer, Madison Bumgarner, and Felix Hernandez. That's how good he's been. But tonight the Red Sox are battering him. Throw down to third, the tag, and he got him.
Wow.
Well, what a mistake there by Leon.
That's terrible.
To get cut down at third base. Now
What are
the
you
Red Sox,
doing?
we'll see if the Red Sox review it, but he's walking away.
It didn't look good. He went scrambling back.
Navarro came up gunning.
Got him. You got to get a different angle if you want to see when his fingertips got in.
The Red Sox will not challenge.
Yeah, his hand was up in the air when he got him on the.
It's a pickoff at third base.
That is not good.
And now they're 2 down. And the 1-0 to Pedroia. That is an ugly looking play.
Yeah, it really takes the steam out of you. Just hope that Pedroia could pick him up.
There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Get a good jump in case the ball gets away from the catcher? I don't think so.
Red Sox ahead 4-2.
Especially as a catcher, you know you've put those things on before with the third baseman.
I think you're right. I think that's what makes it a little worse.
Here he's 3-0 on Pedroia. He's got Bogarts staring him in the face.
When you make a play like that, nobody in the dugout has to tell you a thing. They don't even want to look at you.
You don't even want to go back in the dugout.
3-0 pitch outside for ball 4 as he walks him on 4 straight.
5 walks. 5.
Didn't see that coming. Red Sox have been very patient with him. Time now to see who's been driving the ball. Presented by Toyo Tires. Xander Bogaerts last 11 games against the AL Central. Look at this, 467. 13 RBIs, 21 hits. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox.
Was that double added onto that? Must have been.
It was
updated.
Yep. 2-run double in the 3rd inning. Now with 48 runs batted in.
How's he going to try to get him out?
He takes a strike. Xander leading the majors with 101 hits.
He knew that was a ball.
The 0-1. No Red Sox player has led the major leagues in hits since Wade Boggs in 1985 had 240 hits.
Whoa.
Xander on a pace to go by that by the Hall of Famer. Pops it up sky high to right. Coates is there to make the play. So the Red Sox with a bit of a frustrating inning do not score. 4-2 Boston. will donate $500 to Boston Healthcare for the Homeless for every inning completed by a Sox starting pitcher at Fenway. Visit NESN.com for a running tally. Just another way Aetna is helping build healthier communities. To the 5th inning, Red Sox ahead 4-2. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, and Garrett Austin with you. Garcia 0 for 1. He's flat out to right field. Then Coates, the number 9 hitter, and then Anderson. Now, Erod had a shutdown inning in the 4th. Red Sox just had a rough inning and really feel like they missed an opportunity to knock Quintana out.
God, you think it should be like 6-4 right now. At least 5-4.
Walked 2 men. He walked 2 and he allowed the double. But the base running mistake by Leon. We'll see how much it costs the Red Sox tonight. He has to go right back out there and catch the left-hander Rodriguez, the 23-year-old from Venezuela, with a 2-1 pitch.
Change up here.
Try to hold up, and he did. 3-1.
Fastball changeup all night long.
Not much there, huh, from Dana DeMuth?
That means it wasn't even close.
I guess.
3-1.
And he walks him.
How do you throw a 3-1 changeup? That's ugly. It says slider, but I think it was a changeup.
Get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, first aid station located behind Section 12 here at Fenway on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org.
You know, once again, in a 4-2 game, you see the changeup. I don't really understand this. Obviously, it was just a non-competitive pitch. He didn't want to do that, but 3-1.
Leadoff walk brings up Coates, who doubled down the line onto the warning track, and it skipped up into the stands.
You got to watch him right now. You know, he hasn't been out there all that much, right? This is his 5th start. Hasn't gone beyond what, 5 1/3 is he gone? Maybe 6. He went 6 against
in his first one against Baltimore.
70 pitches.
His last 2 outings, though, 4 2/3 and 4 1/3. For Coates, that double was his first big league hit. And another one missing for ball 2, so now Leon out for a mound visit. And now Hanley will join him.
He was locked in last inning from the windup. Got everybody concerned.
Like he was being chastised a bit there by Hanley.
Like, hey, let's go. Bounce around.
Don't miss Dining Playbook every Saturday morning at 9 on NESN. Dining Playbook on NESN, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. Red Sox with a 4-2 lead in the 5th inning. Runner at first for Chicago, and poke foul back out of play.
You don't know much about this kid Coates at the plate, but I'll tell you what, he put a charge in that ball, hitting it over Mookie's head. Would have been a home run in a lot of ballparks. You think about it, down the line. They hit that ball about 370 down the line.
You know, they brought him up on the 4th of June. He was hitting a cover off the ball in the minor leagues. He pops it to right here. That'll be the first out of the inning. He was hitting 335 at Charlotte and leading the International League in hitting, so he can swing it. 1 for 2 tonight. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets with the best seats at the lowest prices, all with a 200% guarantee. Treat yourself or someone special by visiting aceticket.com or by calling 1-800-MY-SEATS. And the top of the order now in Anderson. Another youngster recently called up. In fact, their #1 prospect out of their farm system. He hit .312 at Double-A last year with 49 stolen bases.
You know, they didn't really want to call him up. They signed Jimmy Rollins, and that didn't last very long. He didn't do a very good job for them. You know, he's gotten older. Great career by Jimmy Rollins, but that didn't work out, so they figured, might as well. They wanted him to get another year in down there, but this is what happens.
He's 0 for 2 tonight. Rattles out with a third. Back into by Marrero. In a second one, and no chance for a double play. They do get the lead man at second base, and they're 2 down. Anderson runs very well, so Pedroia making the wise choice to hang on to it.
This was a little scary. I didn't know he was going to pick this ball or not. He did. Makes the throw to Pedroia, and he shouldn't have tried to turn that ball. No chance. That big boy coming down at you. Garcia, he is a big man.
Marrero, an outstanding glove man. He can play multiple infield positions with that glove. So 2 down and Eaton the batter. He has walked and scored, and he's also grounded out to third. He's a smaller guy, but he can hit for some power. He had 14 home runs last year. Red Sox ahead 4-2 in the 5th. Abreu on deck.
You don't want to see him this inning.
The 1-0. And a ball just missing the strike zone at 94. He's at real good velocity tonight.
Real good.
Anywhere from 94 to 96. Anderson leading off first base with 2 down.
Johan Santana is his idol. Erod, and he pitches like him. Santana had such a great changeup.
Oh,
he was a great pitcher. He really was.
He was in his prime. You could say the best in the game for a couple of years. That's in there for strike. And then, of course, he threw the no-hitter for the Mets.
Threw about 135 pitches or something silly, but
and that was the end.
I know, and they never had a no-hitter before. That's almost why Collins just let him go. He had to.
He had to, and he says that it's one of the hardest things he ever had to do as a manager, to let him go throw all those pitches, because the Mets had never had a no-hitter, despite all those great pitchers like Seaver and Gooden and all those guys.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have one, huh? Really?
Santana got it, but he was never the same after that. Seaver came close several times.
He got one with Cincinnati, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Of course, won 300 games as well.
I wouldn't worry too much about that guy.
I get 2 strikes on the batter. Got a left-hand hitter up there. Red Sox ahead by 2. Eaton the hitter. His brother Zachary, a captain in the U.S. Air Force. Runner does go, and it's swung on and foul tipped to the mid for strike 3. He gets that batter. Still 4-2 Boston. Concert featuring Lady Antebellum June 28th at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. Go to Ticketmaster.com/Charity Classic Fenway. Bottom of the 5th inning, David Ortiz leads it off against Quintana, who is still alive, but barely. Red Sox getting to him for 4 runs, 7 hits. They do have Matt Albers, formerly of the Red Sox, loosening again in the bullpen. Good night for David so far with a walk and an RBI single. He's driven in 60 runs and leading the majors with 48 extra base hits, the most for any player through 70 games in the last 15 years in the major leagues.
At 40 years old.
At 40.
I remember when Albert Bell hit 50 doubles and 50 dingers. Remember that one year? I think it was 95. Mo Vaughn beat him out in the MVP, but 50-50 club. It's 100 extra base hits.
Ridiculous 1-2 punch down the line. Jimmy Fox holds the Red Sox record for extra base hits in a season, 92 in 1938. At this same point in 1938, Fox had 42 extra base hits. David has 48. As you say, at 40.
At 40. With good eyeballs.
Yes. Knows the strike zone. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little poke towards center. Coming on Eaton, but he'll get there. Off the end of the bat for the out. Young will be next. Fans, don't miss NESN Live weekdays at 5:30. Catch all the latest news for your favorite New England sports teams. NESN Live presented by Cross Insurance. You mentioned Albert Bell.
Yeah, I don't know why it just came up because I remember 50-50.
And some of the stuff you remember just boggles my mind, but that was not a pleasant guy.
No.
He was not a happy man.
But he was really nice to me.
He was?
Yeah, we had something in common. We were both recovering. So he always would come to me, and I was like, no, seriously, he would always come over, and I never talked to anybody on the other team. And here comes Albert, and everybody hates Albert, but he's coming over to talk to me.
I thought Albert hated everybody else. That's the way it worked.
But we talked talked the language. I was trying to help him with his issues, and I knew something about it, and we had some connections with some people in Cleveland, and he came over, and I was like, oh, this monster of a man.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but not like him because he treated me nicely.
Popped to center again, and Eaton is there to put that one away. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad he wound up being nice to somebody, because I don't think he ever smiled at anybody else. He didn't want to be anywhere near him.
I know. I remember when he was showing his muscle when he against the Red Sox, right in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He said that's all muscle, wasn't it? Because they were dogging him about whatever. He had a lot of things going on. Remember the bat that they got? The guy went in the clubhouse and got the bat out of the umpire's thing when they confiscated it because it had Super Balls in
stuff
it.
all in there. Shouldn't have been in there.
That was bad. But anyway, he was nice to me.
Glad to hear that, Eck. Filed away by Jackie Bradley, who has walked and singled in a run. Red Sox leading 4-2 in the 5th. And so far, so good from the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez. He's been much better than Quintana tonight, as that one is inside for a ball.
It's a big hit by Jackie last time up. He tried to come inside on him.
Xander Bogaerts right there at the shoulder of Victor Rodriguez, Red Sox assistant hitting coach, hammered right to Lowry, who will throw him out. Red Sox go 1-2-3. We've completed 5, 4-2 Boston. Line is brought to you by Ace Ticket, and 79 pitches through 5 innings. He's allowed 2 runs, 2 hits with 6 strikeouts. This is finding his delivery from his rookie year. After working on that with Carl Willis, what do you think of it so far?
I like it. I like the fact that he's got great velocity. That's the #1 thing. Changeup's been there for him too. But he seems like he really likes the fact that he's bringing it. He's bringing it up there, getting it up there, not afraid to come inside. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't throw. You know, this is this season. This is not tonight. There's tonight. I mean, almost 80% fastballs. He's probably thrown what, 2 breaking balls?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Slicer foul by Abreu, who has struck out and reached on an error.
And I'll tell you what, these punch outs, and this is the reason why he loves his fastball. See ya, Lowry. High fastball. Another one. High fastball to Anderson. Fastball again. Don't even think about it. Navarro. Fastball by Eaton right there. And the other 2 punch outs are fastballs too. I mean, he's loving his cheese tonight.
6 Ks, give him 7.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to remember from tonight. He's loving his cheese.
He's loving his cheese, and it's out of the zone, and they think it's there, and it's gone. It's got such life to it.
He's a man who loves his cheese.
He loves his cheese tonight.
7 Ks. He'll go after Cabrera now, who has doubled and hit into a fielder's choice.
He reminds me of David Price when he was young, is what he does, because that's what David Price did. Throw 80-85% fastballs. Something we haven't seen from David Price now.
No.
Not that we want to, but we'd like to see some 96 piece here and there.
I would still like to see it every once in a while.
You bring it up. You always bring it up.
Because I think it's still there for him. He doesn't feel like he needs it, and the way he's pitching lately, he's right.
Right, but you'd like to see it.
Just to see it.
Just to see it.
That's your ace.
You should go up to him and tell him, hey, listen, I'd like to see. Can you just throw me a 96?
Dave,
and then point up there.
Yeah, just a word, Dave.
Dave.
You remember 97. I know you still have it. 96. Just for us.
Just for us. It doesn't have to be a strike.
He's been so good.
Yeah, he really has.
Hit 94, 95 when he needs it. That changeup's been ridiculous. Foul tipped into the mid here by Cabrera.
I mean, he's been consistently 94, 95 all night. It's one thing throwing one ball 94 and you say, oh, wow. No, it's as a starting pitcher, you got to do it consistently. Let me see what you're throwing in the 7th inning.
1-2 going for another one here. And fouled it back. You know why?
He's just humping, man. Just letting it go.
I think I'm like every other fan because it's exciting.
Yes, me too. I love watching guys bring it.
When a guy can throw hard and really dust a hitter when he has to, it's exciting.
It doesn't mean he's going to be a good pitcher, but we still like to see it.
But it's big boy baseball.
Yes, it is. After all these knuckleballs, I've about had it. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because we love Stephen Wright. We love him so much because he is dazzling. He's done it as good as anybody has. And this period so far this year. And he might dazzle in the All-Star game too.
I like that idea of that knuckleballer coming off someone who throws 95, 96.
Right. Follow it up with that.
Yeah, good luck to you. 1-2 pitch.
It's like 8 innings of Stephen Wright, and then here comes Kimbrel. I mean, whoa.
Must look like 150.
Really.
We'll see if the closer will be needed tonight. Here's the 2-2. All filled up now on Cabrera. 2 walks so far from Rodriguez. Making his first career start against the White Sox, and it's gone well.
I don't know why he wanted to start that windup like David Price anyway. He was hanging around David Price too long in spring training. He wanted to be David Price.
I think it had a lot to do with the knee injury.
You think?
I do. Pop foul back out of play, and that's why he had tailored it that way and gone away from the rookie windup.
So he could be gentle when he landed.
That's it.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
And now he's come off that because he's worked through the mental block. And let's face it, it wasn't working.
Yeah.
He had a 6.97 ERA coming into tonight. It wasn't working. So he's gone back to last year's windup as a rookie where he was so successful. He squares up on the batter, and the 3-2. Line shot. That'll be played off the wall by Young. That's a bullet. He one-hands it. He's going to hold him to a base hit. Long single for Cabrera, his second hit tonight. And Frazier will be next. Tomorrow at 1, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Steve Lyons will preview tomorrow's pitching matchup between Rick Porcello and James Shields. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Well, that'll wake you up right there. You think you're bringing it, and the next thing you know, guy hits a bullet off the wall. And you got this guy coming up that can leave the yard.
20 home runs for Frazier. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a fly to right. One down, but a man on. And he buries the first one. Frazier hit 35 home runs last year with Cincinnati, 29 the year before. As a 12-year-old, he was a big part of the Toms River, New Jersey Little League team. As you look at Hembry getting active, that beat Japan to win the Little League World Series. It was in 1998. He went 4 for 4 with a home run in the championship game against Japan. He also got the last out as a pitcher.
Man,
he had a day.
He probably was just as big as he is now then. How big those kids used to look.
Oh, like they drive to the ballpark, these 12-year-olds. 1-1. Oh, there's a high deep drive left field. He wound up and he crushed that one up into the monster seats, and that will tie the ball game. Frazier with number 21, a 2-run blast.
And that's what happens when somebody looks fastball all the time. There's not a lot of choices. He threw him 2 changeups, looking fastball, got it, hit it out. And that's what they pay him to do. Look at this fastball, middle in, Fenway Park. That ball, just one look at it, you know it's out of here.
21 home runs for Frazier. That's out of the 52 hits that he has for the season.
That's a shame, man.
And that has tied the game at 4-4.
And that's what's been hurting him. That home run ball caught up with him again.
It's a 7th home run he's given up.
And I hate to say it, but it's like you can't be all fastballs. You know, even though you love your fastball, it's hard to do it all night long. Fastball, changeup. That's it.
The 0-1 to Laurie. A trickler charging in Marrero. And gets it off just in the nick of time for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, Eck will break down tonight's game, plus a live report from the NHL Awards in Las Vegas. That's tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. So we're starting over here in the 6th inning. A 2-run blast by Frazier. And tied up as Navarro will step up. He has popped up to second and struck out tonight.
You know, that's the 7th home run he's given up to right-handed hitters this year. That one really costly.
And Navarro checks in there for a strike for the Red Sox. Coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Hanley Ramirez, Devin Marrero, and Sandy Leon. Quintana's still out there, still surviving, at least to this point.
Quintana's gotten 4 runs tonight, more than he's had, almost more than he's had the last 7 starts.
He's also walked 5 men, which is a shocker for him.
Probably one of his worst starts on the year right now.
2-1. That's 100 pitches now for Erod.
That's an 89-mile-an-hour changeup. That is a hard changeup.
So a season high for him. Here's 101. Again, 95, but up and out of the zone.
I mean, he can't even throw a little wrinkle, you know, just to put it in their brain cells. Just a little twist your wrist every once in a while. Back door, you know.
You just don't see it. 3-1 pitch. Line shot, 1 hop. Down is Xander. He's up again and gets him. He had time to read the signature. But they get 2, and we're tied up 4-4 going to the bottom of the 6th. Give back to the communities in which they live and work. Thousands of kids have had a chance to catch a free game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Tonight we welcome special teams for exceptional people to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts, committed to the community. Todd Frazier with a 2-run shot has tied the ball game at 4-4. So we head off to the last half of the 6th inning, and Hanley Ramirez will lead things off against Quintana, who deals a strike. Quintana's still out there despite 5 walks and 7 hits. The Red Sox had an opportunity after getting 4 runs in the 3rd inning to add on in the 4th, as that one's fouled away. Leon walked with 1 out. Betts doubled and Pedroia took ball 4. But then Sandy Leon was picked off by the catcher at 3rd base, and we wondered at that time if that would haunt the Red Sox.
Right now it is.
1-2. Hanley is struck out and hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. The 1-2 pitch from the left-hander from Colombia. Taking a long look in, and now Hanley asked for time.
He said no, and Navarro won't change the sign.
Ramirez 0 for 10 in the series.
Come on, he said.
And a shot to right center. That one headed deep. And that one gets out of here. It's a home run. He stung it into the bullpen. And the Red Sox have the lead back. Question was, would it be high enough? And just barely is the answer.
Oh, Quintana can't be real happy with Navarro right now. Not at all. Hanley doing his thing again, finally. It's been a while. But opposite field, he drove this ball, I'll tell you. Fastball, outer half, outside. Not just a horrific pitch, but this is what Hanley could do when he gets it going. Drive that ball out of here.
And barely. And Robbie Ross went to make the play with the hat, and it skipped on him. Speedway proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston's Children's Hospital. All summer long, you can get any size fountain or frozen drink for just 69 cents. 1-1 popped up. Navarro looking for room, has some, and makes the play for the out. Back to Robbie Ross out there, who loves to catch these. Just missed it.
He's a little late to begin with. He probably thought that ball was a gapper, and it made it all the way to the fence.
I love all the guys in the bullpen like, what are you doing? How come you didn't make that play? Come on. That was routine for you.
He was late to the party is what happened.
Oh, nice to see Hanley with a smile. We haven't seen many lately after an at-bat, but that was a bullet.
Imagine this guy gets going, Hanley, especially with the long ball.
A man at the plate right now feels probably better than Hanley. Leon, who got picked off at third base, because the Red Sox have the lead back. Not that he's going to feel. Look at it.
You think they don't care, huh? Or you think they don't listen? You got rabbit ears is what they've got.
There's a little trickler foul. Hanley with his first hit in the series.
He's something, man. I'll tell you what. You don't see that very much, do you?
No. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You think it doesn't get to these players? I mean, they know when they're not swinging the bat. You don't have to tell them.
Well, he's been too good a hitter throughout his career to let that linger. And pop foul back out of play.
Well, he thought he was going to get hot a couple of weeks ago. He said, get a ride on this. He's talking about get a ticket on this plane. We're going to take off.
Well, he hit that monster 3-run homer against Baltimore.
Right. He was fixing on taking off pretty soon. If you want to get a ticket, you want to get on the plane.
1-2 fouled back. Leon with a couple of walks and scored a run in the third. Quintana's up to 106 pitches. And a 1-2 from the lefty. And bounced it up there.
Boy, this has been a struggle for Quintana. So unlike him.
The 2-2. Rattle foul off third.
We got Tazawa warming up down there, so that'll be all for Rodriguez tonight, you would assume.
Well, he's got the lead back. Thanks to the bullet by Hanley Ramirez. And the 2-2. Bounced up there. Now if he walks another one, that'll be his 6th walk in the game, which would be a new career high.
And we'll see Albers if he walks him.
Payout pitch, and he spoiled that one. Now Quintana getting for him a lot of run support tonight, but he has struggled. Walked 2 men in the second inning. Red Sox really got to him in the third, though, for 4 runs, 5 hits. Here's the 3-2. And he does walk him. So Sandy Leon taking his 3rd walk in this one. That's going to bring out the manager and bring on a bullpen change here. So Quintana came in with an ERA of 2.63. That goes up about half a run and brings on Albers. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Red Sox ahead 5-4, and we'll be back at Fenway with more in a moment. Hanley.
Fastball away. That's what Navarro wanted. Hanley loved it. We haven't seen him hit the ball out of the ballpark the other way since he was in Chicago almost, right? Long time ago.
I knocked it into the bullpen. Stanley, the official tool of the Boston Red Sox, now in front 5-4. And Mookie Betts will face Matt Albers, making his 32nd appearance, 2-4 with a .480. Right after Sandy Leon took his third walk of the game. And that was it for Quintana, who went 5 1/3 and leaves trailing 5-4. Mookie with a good night going with a pair of singles, an infield hit, and a double. He's gone 2 for 3. Mookie adding to his major league lead in runs by scoring in the third inning. But the Red Sox got 4. And a 1-0 is fouled back.
You look at what Quintana did. He walked Leon 3 times. That's unheard of. I mean, the 9th hitter walked 3 times.
And 6 in the game.
I mean, for a guy that doesn't walk anybody, I mean, that's brutal.
You could tell he was off in the second inning, but he walked both Ortiz and Jackie Bradley. One out and a 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, the 110 or 11 pitches that Quintana threw, he's going to feel terrible tomorrow morning when he wakes up. If you throw 110 and you win, you don't hurt that bad. You really don't. But after what he did tonight, he's feeling bad tomorrow.
Leon with the lead and popped toward right field. Coates is there. And that'll be the second out here in the 6th. And Dustin Pedroia next. Well, Sunday on a special health and wellness episode of NESN Clubhouse, we learn how to treat a sprained ankle. Also try a new catcher's mask that aims to improve player safety. Catch it all Sunday at 1:30 on NESN Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Dustin Pedroia on base twice tonight with a single and a run. He's also taken ball 4. And Albers deals in there for called strike 1. Red Sox ahead 5-4. And a 1-strike pitch. 1-1.
Albers did a decent job, if I recall, for the Red Sox there for a period of time. He went to Baltimore. He came over from Houston to Baltimore and then came to the Red Sox.
In 2012, he had a strong 40 appearances with an ERA of 2.29 for the Red Sox.
I remember that.
He was dealt to Arizona. He's been with Cleveland, Houston, and these White Sox since then.
Never was with Baltimore, huh?
2 down and a man on, and a run in on a Hanley Ramirez home run. Here's the 1-2.
He had a pinch double this year at some point. I don't know how that happened. He must have run out of players. In an extra inning game, he got a double, won the game for them.
Xander Bogaerts on deck. The 2-2, and got a piece of it. Pedroia was in a mini slump there. Looks like he's battled his way out of it for sure. 3 hits in the last 2 games. Sox have out hit Chicago 8-4, and the 2-2. He loops that one foul to hang in there on a curveball.
Pedroia, he can make some swings like that and dork some balls into right field. It's not the prettiest of swings sometimes, but he can get to a lot of balls.
He's had a ton of hits this season to right, hasn't he?
He really has. I've never seen anything like it.
Leon with a short lead, and the 2-2, and fought off again. Long at bat here for the Red Sox all-star second baseman.
All of a sudden there's so many great second basemen, huh? Altuve, Cano's always been around. Kinsler, a lot of good ones.
Who can really swing the bat. And some of them, like Pedroia, can really pick it. Altuve can, that's for sure. Here's the 2-2. And floated foul as he continues to battle. Sunday on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, Charlie heads to Florida for Johnny Damon's charity event. Catch it Sunday night at 8 right here on Nesson. Red Sox exploded for 4 runs in the 3rd inning against Jose Quintana tonight. So the offense has come back alive. The 2-2. That fills it up. 3-2 on Pedroia. Two men out. Dustin trying to get the inning to Xander Bogaerts, who waits on deck. Runner goes, and it's up the middle for a base hit. Leon touching second, on his way into 3rd. Second hit tonight for Pedroia, and they are on the corners for Xander Bogaerts.
Pedroia finding a hole up the middle. It's great at bat. Finally gets a pitch low. What are you going to do with a low ball down in the middle? Take it right back up the middle, and you don't have anybody playing up the middle.
So Bogaerts will be going for another multi-hit game, but Cooper is out first for a visit. Xander with a 2-run double in the 3rd. That was the key hit in that uprising. Bruins Summer Face-Off Live returns on Friday night. See if any Bruins go home with some hardware at the NHL Awards. Plus, Sarah Davis is live in Buffalo from the NHL Draft. Join Dale Arnold and Andy Brickley for all the latest on the Bruins Friday night at 6. Bogaerts in the 3rd inning with the double.
Got that breaking ball down and in. Hit a rifle off the wall. Dong. 2 runs scored, tied the game at the time.
So Xander Bogaerts now with 48 runs batted in, and he can add to that right now as he takes ball one. You get Dan Jennings, the left-hander, loose. And the 1-0. That sneaks in there for a strike with a fastball. On the corner, according to Mike Estabrook. Ortiz on deck. Albers out of the bullpen with a 1-1. Little dribbler. Albers trying to cover it. Bare hand throw and won't get him. Another run is in. Leon scores, and that'll make it 6-4. That'll be a base hit for Xander. His second single.
Boy, he'll take that. Almost like a swinging bunt. He comes back in there with a fastball. He swings over the top of it. He's gone out of that box. And I said, there's no way Albers can make that play. Nobody can make that play. He's lucky he didn't throw it away.
Pedroia down to second. So some breathing room for the Red Sox, now on top 6-4. And they're calling down to the bullpen with David Ortiz about ready to swing. See if Jennings is ready. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC and Steve Lyons have scores and highlights from around the AL East. Plus, they preview tomorrow's pitching matchup between Rick Porcello and James Shields. Ventura trying to buy as much time as he can, and now he's heading out and wants to bring on the southpaw for Big Papi, who has walked, singled in a run, and flied out to center so far tonight.
You got to get these bullpen guys ready quicker. Let's go.
Sox have added on an infield single from Bogaerts, and that'll do it for Albers. Bears, and nothing to hide. Red Sox scoring tonight, 6 runs and 10 hits. They have a 6-4 lead. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you. Another bullpen change here. They're going to bring on Jennings, who is 2-1 with a 2.10 ERA. Pitched well in 30 innings, just 28 hits, and he has not allowed a home run.
A lot of walks.
.262 batting average against him. And David Ortiz, the man to face him now. Papi with a walk, an RBI single, and a fly out tonight. Two down, and Pedroia and Bogarts aboard. So the Sox with an opportunity with two away to put some big time damage on Chicago. David drove in his 60th run with that base hit in the third inning. That's in game number 71. And the lefty's 1-0. A ball inside. Here comes the 2-0 to Big Papi. And nothing to swing at. Ball three. Chris Young on deck. Is he about to swing with the bases loaded? And Jennings with a 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. David taking all the way in a strike. So a hitter's count for David Ortiz with Pedroia at second, Bogarts at first. Sox with a run in this inning on a searing line drive home run from Hanley Ramirez into the bullpen. The 3-1. Chopper toward first base. Abreu there. He taps the bag and gets out number 3. So the Red Sox get the 1, but they open up a 6-4 lead through 6. Year, don't overpay for your iced coffee. Get a large iced coffee at Cumberland Farms for only 99 cents every day, anytime. To the 7th, 6-4. Red Sox with the lead and go to the bullpen. It'll be Tazawa at 1-1, a 3.04 ERA. He replaces Eduardo Rodriguez, who can get the win. He went the first 6. He gave up 4 runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts.
Once again, I loved his velocity. That bad pitch there to Frazier really cost him, but all forgotten now with a 2-run lead.
Garcia's flying out and taking ball 4 tonight. Technically speaking, the Red Sox were the team who traded Garcia to Chicago in 2013.
The Peavy deal?
Yep. 3-team deal that sent Jake Peavy to the Red Sox, or to Boston, and Jose Iglesias on to Detroit from the Red Sox. So the Sox had Garcia on paper only before shipping him to Detroit.
Little Miggy really hasn't turned into a great player.
And a 1-0 pitch. Garcia 0 for 4 against Tazawa. He has struck him out twice.
Ooh.
Jason Coates on deck, got his first major league hit tonight. And then Tim Anderson, who got his first major league home run last night.
2 bad misfires right there.
And Tazawa with the 2-0. And fires in a strike at 92. And I know with Eduardo Rodriguez, you're looking for a breaking ball and a consistent breaking ball that he can use, but you saw a different delivery for him, and John Farrell's been talking about that and the work he's done with Carl Willis out there.
Love the delivery, a power delivery.
Fouled back. He's a power pitcher.
Right. But the beat goes on with that third pitch that he really hasn't found yet. I wish he would come up with just a little cutter or something. You don't expect him to come up with this nasty curveball, but you know the cutter is just offset fastball.
He had 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, and he was hitting 95 on a regular basis. Here's the 2-2 to Garcia. Waved at and missed. He went to the splitter and he got him. 1 man out.
This is when he's tough. When he punches guys out, swinging at that ball down. He throws his split finger a little harder than Uehara does, but just as effective.
Jason Coates now with a double for his first big league hit. He's also flying out to right. 1 for 14 as a major leaguer. And he'll look at a strike. These two teams will finish up this 4-game series, and it'll be the end of a 10-game homestand for the Red Sox. Tomorrow afternoon at 1:35, Rick Porcello against the right-hander James Shields. Up the middle, and a nice stop there by Tazawa with a backhand, and he gets him. 2 down.
I don't know if that ball would have went up the middle for a base hit, but that was a nice snatch job right there. This ball got on him in a hurry. Had to reach back to get it. Nice play. Finishes up pretty well. He doesn't fall off to first base too much, or he never would have got that.
Top of the order now, Anderson. A quiet night for him. He's 0 for 3 with a ground to third, a strikeout, and he's hit into a fielder's choice. Bases empty and 2 down. Sox ahead 6-4 in the 7th. In for strike 1. If Rick Porcello wins tomorrow, he'll be 9-2. And a very respectable 376 earned run average. Another strike. Same spot.
Has Porcello ever made the All-Star team? I don't think so.
I don't think he has.
I don't think he has. He had a good year 2 years ago. He should have made it probably. I don't think he did. He was on the list to vote him in on.
Yeah, he is not yet.
Right.
0-2 to Anderson is poked foul. The Sox coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Young, Bradley, and Ramirez. Hanley with a home run to untie the game. Sox have added on another run since then. Todd Frazier has homered for Chicago, 2-run shot in the 6th inning. And the 0-2 pitch to the leadoff man. And too high. The Red Sox will be heading on to Texas and Tampa Bay.
Here comes a split finger.
Tazawa's 1-2, looking for the strikeout of the rookie.
Fastball again. What's that?
2-2.
There it is. No, he doesn't want it. He wants a slider.
2 out, bases empty. Here's the 2-2. Just missed with that one. 3-2.
You don't see him throw very many sliders, but a good one, but misses outside. He's basically a curveball, split finger, high fastball pitcher.
Crowd would like to see a strikeout to end this inning. And they get it. Went back to the splitter to strike him out. Tazawa gets him in order. 6-4 Red Sox. By Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. 6-4, Red Sox have the lead here to the bottom of the 7th inning. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you from Fenway. And Chris Young will take on the left-hander Jennings here. Chris in the ball game has popped up twice and flied to center. He has 10 extra base hits his last 19 games, including 5 doubles and 5 home runs. And he stings that one into center field. Coming on, it is Eaton to make the play. He's a fine outfielder. Wicked line drive for the out.
Boy, he made that look easy. Goes into the slide. This is a line drive, and he goes into the slide. Don't shake your head too long. You could get hit in the face. Just makes it look so easy. Tough play.
Mentioned he's had 15 defensive runs saved as an outfielder this season. Plays like that. Although Chris Young hit it right on the button. That'll bring up Jackie Bradley, who has walked, singled in a run, and grounded out to second. And Uehara getting going in the Red Sox pen. Jackie hitting .303 with 12 home runs and gets a piece.
I think we all wondered how many home runs Jackie would have been capable of hitting. We thought that of Bogarts. You thought of it of Mookie. You wonder what kind of power they're going to have. Well, he's got 12 already.
That single in the third inning underneath Quintana glanced off the pitcher Quintana. That drove in a run. Jackie has 46 RBIs.
Got a lot of guys on pace to drive in 100.
Yeah. And a 1-2 from the lefty. Off the fists. Ramirez on deck. 1 for 3 tonight with a home run that untied the game in the 6th. And a 1-2 pitch from Jennings. 2-2. Orioles have a lead on San Diego. They're 6-2 in the 6th inning at Camden Yards.
Cleveland, the beat goes on for Cleveland. They're beating Tampa again. I mean, they've been playing well at home after that big parade for the Cavs today.
2-2 home. Pop foul back out of play. Well, the Celtics were celebrated here at Fenway Park before the ball game tonight, and chatting with some in their front office, and they were very happy for the city of Cleveland, like the rest of us were.
Yeah.
They were shocked that Golden State lost a couple of home games in the playoffs in the finals. They were up 3-1.
They lost a lot of games in the finals. If you think about it, they lost, I think, 9 games. And then on the season, they only lost, what, 73 and what, 9 or 8? I'm not sure, but.
Incredible. 73 and 9.
So they lost as many games in the playoffs as they did all year.
Yep. 3-2. And he lets it go for ball 4. So Jackie's on for the 3rd time in this game. Tiebreak game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. And here's Tom Caron. TC, thank you very much. Red Sox leading here at Fenway 6-4. Another base runner. Hanley with a strikeout, a double play ball, and a home run. His 6th of the year. He swings, hits a high fly to left center field, but not deep. Coming on Cabrera, and he'll make the catch. And Bradley back to first. Join Clay and Lindsey Buchholz alongside teammates and celebrities at the Buchholz Benefit Bash on July 7th. That's at the House of Blues. TC will be the host as country music stars Thompson Square and comedian Josh Wolf performs. Visit ClayBuchholzFoundation.org to get your tickets today and help improve the lives of children in need. 2 down. Marrero now. He's been up twice tonight. 0 for 2. Travis Shaw had 1 at bat tonight before he departed. He had a base hit. But that shin continues to trouble him. That contusion from last night found that ball really hard off that shin. Travis showed you a lot just by continuing to play in that game last night and starting tonight. Red Sox up by 2 in the 7th. And that's a ball. The set by the lefty to 2-0. And ripped up the middle for a base hit. Bradley the second has to stop there. It's hit too hard. Moreno's had a couple of really nice swings since coming up from the minors.
Yes, he has. This is his first hit since coming up here. Gets a fastball away, stays right on it. It's a ringing base hit up the middle. Jackie's got to pull up at second.
And Sandy Leon will step in. He's had very little to swing at tonight. He's walked 3 times. He's also scored twice. Been a little while since the Red Sox have had a catcher walk 3 times. Runners on at first and second, 2 down. And the lefty fires in and across for a called strike. We showed you that graphic that he's the first catcher for the Red Sox to walk 3 times in a game since David Ross in 2013. Ross, in the last year of his career, he has announced he'll retire at the end of the season.
Everybody's talking about him going to the All-Star game. Started with Lester trying to promote that.
He's having a great time with those Cubs.
They love him over there. He's like grandpa or something, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what they call him. He's having a really fun time with that team. He's taking pictures in every city he visits now for the last time, and he posts those. I saw him posing with the Rockies statue, and they went to Philadelphia the other day. Hammer toward third base, to his left, Frazier with it, and into second base in time to retire the side, so the Red Sox don't score there. We go to the 8th, 6-4 Boston. To keep up with all news about the Red Sox, the Bruins, the Pats, the Celts, and beyond, visit youtube.com/Nesson today. 8th inning, Red Sox looking to protect a 6-4 lead. They've out-hit the White Sox 11-4. And Koji comes out of the bullpen for the 28th time.
good old Koji time. Let's see him do the same thing that Tazawa did.
Which was 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Tazawa with a very slick inning.
Little split finger to start him off with.
Eden has taken ball 4 and scored. He scored in the first inning on a double by Cabrera. That was off Eduardo Rodriguez, who went 6 innings, gave up 4 on 4 hits. He struck out 7, and he can win it. Eden is 0 for 2. as he drills that one into right center field. That'll fall down for a base hit. So he's on to lead off the 8th inning. Time now for our poll question presented by People's United Bank. Heck, let's see what topics people can vote on to hear you talk about tonight on NESN Sports Today. Erod's night, the offense bouncing back, or a Hanley's home run. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. And next batter in will be Jose Abreu, who's gone 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and he's reached on an error.
Hope that's the last bad split finger that Koji throws tonight. Base hit to Eaton.
In for strike one. Abreu has been their best hitter the last few seasons. Big man from Cuba. Hits for average, hits for power. Off to a slow start this year, but you got to believe he'll get going. 1 ball, 1 strike. He and his family survived a harrowing boat trip in the middle of the night to defect from Cuba in August of 2013, eventually landing in Haiti. It was a 12-hour trip, and all he'll say about it is it scared him to death. He doesn't like to talk about it very much. The 1-1 fouled away. Cabrera on deck. Red Sox pitching has allowed only 5 hits in this one. Talked about this earlier. The last 2 weeks, the Sox staff with an ERA of 3.10. It's the second lowest in the American League.
Bullpen's done a nice job too. Koji's got a decision to make here. What's he going to do?
Eaton off first base, not a big lead, and he gets him.
Oh yeah,
elevating that fastball to strike him out.
Looks so tempting, doesn't it? This ball is not even close to being a strike. The ball's so high. You're talking about a chest high fastball a guy swings at.
So 1 away. Cabrera next. He's been a tough out tonight with a double and a single.
Who swings at that pitch? I mean, that doesn't happen very often. That high?
He still gets him chasing.
Wow, that's when chasing was chasing. Uh-oh.
Hammer to right field. Betts racing back, turning, and that ball's into the bullpen for a 2-run homer by Cabrera, and that has tied the game again at 6-6.
I was hoping he wouldn't hang another one. He already hung one to Eaton, and he hung one there again to Melky. And he hit this ball on a line. You're hoping it's just going to be over Mookie's head, but it just kept going. He torched this ball. Obviously looking for something off speed. There's a splitter for a strike, doesn't go down, and he hits a rope out of here. He knew he got it.
So that is the second 2-run homer they've hit tonight. One in the 6th, and now here in the 8th inning, and that one is tomahawked down the line but foul. There's another guy you got to look out for. Frazier's the man who hit the first 2-run homer that tied the game at that point. 4-4.
I tell you, when you throw bad split fingers, man, they go a long ways. It's like meatballs. It really is. It doesn't even tumble, does nothing.
Frazier's hit 21 of them, and he went for the downs again there. The count 0-2. 8th inning, and we're starting over again. A 6-6 tie. Sox will have the top of the order due up. Betts, Pedroia, and Bogarts. And the bottom of the 8th inning. But all even again. Frazier has only seen Koji once in his career. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And a 1-2. Down he goes, hacking. He strikes out for the second time tonight, and they're 2 away.
Once again, the high fastball that Frazier swings at. I guess it's just so tempting. Once again, chest high fastball.
Brings up Laurie, who's gone 0 for 3. A strikeout, a fly to right, and a ground into third. And the first one zipped in there for a strike at 88. 6 runs, 11 hits for the Red Sox. 6 runs on 6 hits for Chicago. And there's a high deep drive left field. This one rising up to the monster and totally out of here. The White Sox have the lead 7-6.
Whoa.
Frazier could not hit one out, but Lowry does for the 8th time.
Once again, the split finger does absolutely nothing right there, and he puts a swing on it, and this ball is over everything on a line.
7-6 Chicago. And Koji knew it instantaneously.
You know, the life of a split finger fastball. Whew.
The White Sox striking for 3 runs in the inning. Here's Navarro popping one foul back out of play. And that has quieted Fenway.
Now, what do you say? You know, what can you say? I mean,
the Red Sox have scored plenty enough runs tonight, but have now given up 7. 3 here in the 8th, and the 1-1 in for a called strike. So the Red Sox with work to do offensively.
you're not going to see 2 hard home run ball hit. I mean, both those balls were scorched.
The 1-2 coming. Rocketed the other way. Over to chase it Young. He's going to see it roll all the way into the corner, and this is going to be a double for Navarro. The 3rd extra base hit, 4th hit in the inning off of Koji.
Seems to me you almost have to go out and get him, don't you?
If Hembry's ready. Garcia will be the batter. Hembry continues to throw in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's gone. I
here he
mean, he
comes.
couldn't give him another hit.
So Koji knocked around 2 homers, a double, and a single. And 3 runs later, Chicago has the lead at 7-6 here in the 8th. We'll take the break and be back with more. Hembry coming on at Fenway. Cabrera's a 2-run shot, and then Laurie, after a strikeout with a solo drive, And that has vaulted the White Sox into the lead. They went from 6-4 down to leading 7-6. And our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Red Sox working Quintana for 6 walks. That's a career high. Cabrera's had a huge night. Erod with 6 innings of work. He will have no decision tonight. Xander Bogaerts 2 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. Hanley Ramirez with a home run as well. The baseball will go to Heath Hembree. And not expected, I'm sure, just about a half hour ago to get into this game.
Boy, he's had a nice year for the Red Sox. Kind of a quiet year. He had to go back down to the minor leagues. Never should have, really. Really tough against right-handed hitters. Only hitting $130 off of them.
1.98 ERA. And looking to get the final out. There is a runner at second base, and Navarro just doubled off of Koji. And a high fly to right. Routine play for Mookie Betts. And that will retire the side. But the Red Sox are trailing all of a sudden. And we'll bring up Betts, Pedroia, and Bogaerts as we go to the last of the 8th. Red Sox are suddenly trailing 7-6 to the White Sox. They're trying to win the first 3 games of this series. Michael Inoa coming out of their bullpen. It just brought him up from the minor leagues from AAA on the 14th of June against Detroit to make his major league debut.
Big boy, about 6'7". Came over from the Oakland A's in that Samardzija deal last year.
And 24 years old, originally out of the Dominican Republic. He will get the top of the order for the Red Sox. And that'll be Mookie Betts, Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts. And they have combined for 6 hits tonight. So the top 3 have done their work.
A little high leverage piece for the young kid out there.
Tall and lanky, about 210, and he delivers a strike at 93.
A little crossfire.
Red Sox seeing him for the first time. Mookie with a single and a double. He's gone 2 for 4. And a strike.
I don't think so.
Well, Estabrook said yes at the top of the zone.
Sure didn't look like it. High breaking ball. You see him pulling it down. Navarro, he didn't think it was a strike.
0-2. Lunging, little ground ball to third. Frazier scoops. 1 man out. Next in will be Dustin Pedroia, who's gone 2 for 3.
You got to wonder about their bullpen. You know, Robertson's pitched what, 3 days in a row. So I think he's not available. They're going to try to get this thing done with some matchups here. There's that Duke guy that had a great night holding the Red Sox scoreless, bases loaded, nobody out the other night. What a job.
Well, though I think the probability of the Red Sox scoring in that situation was something like 94%. Dustin Pedroia 2 for 3. He has singled twice and taken ball 4. He's getting hot again, it looks like. Bogart's next. Enoa with a 1-0, and that'll miss. It's been great seeing the Red Sox score runs tonight. They had scored 4 runs in the previous 3 games. But tonight have allowed 7. One of those parts of the season where it's difficult to put pitching and hitting together on a consistent basis.
This guy's kind of tough. A little crossfire coming from the third base side.
1 out, bases empty. The 2-1. Checked his swing and he fouled it away.
He's trying to throw that ball away. Threw it inside, almost hit him. I mean, that's like missing by 2 feet. Pedroia trying to dive out over the plate, thinking the ball is going to be away. Almost got drilled.
The 2-2 to Pedroia. Cut on and missed. He's upset with himself. He's upset he swung the bat. Down he goes, strike 3.
Maybe he's mad at the umpire too. A little crossfire after almost getting drilled. No chance. A feeble swing. I don't know who he's mad at. He could be mad at himself. Who knows?
I kind of thought because
one of the strikes that he called on the outside corner.
Might be. He turned around.
That 2-0 pitch.
Yep. So base is empty. 2 gone for Bogarts. Xander with 2 hits tonight, and he has driven in 3 runs. As he has gone 2 for 4.
I mean, this big boy is coming at you from the third base side, and he just crossfires against his body. Watch this.
High fly ball. That one driven deep to left center field. Rising up, beaten back, turning, and it's off the wall and narrowly missed being a home run. He races to second and stops there as the throw comes to third. Oh, so close.
Whoa, that was close.
Did a fan reach over? I think the Red Sox want to know that in their dugout. Is there a possibility of being some interference there?
I think they did reach over, but it still was. I don't think it was over the fence. See, underneath the red line.
I'm not so sure.
I think it hit his hand. See what I mean?
I really don't.
That is really close.
I think it's possible that it was over that line already.
Yeah, you see the line. I mean,
they're going to want to take a look, I think.
Oh, you have to take a look at this.
This is up to the crew chief. Did anybody see it differently? Take a look.
I think it was below. I hate to say it.
Right now,
but they are reaching over.
Now there's a ledge there above that.
I know, so they're reaching way over because you gotta reach that far to get over.
I'm not so sure.
I mean, do you think it touched their hand?
I think it possibly could have. We're just not getting the greatest angle on this. But looks like a fan possibly could have touched it as it was going over that red line.
Conclusive. We need another angle here.
Right.
They're not even going to look at it, but you've got to look at it. They think they're going to tell him they think it's not a home run and we're not going to look at it. Are you telling me that you can't even look at this? That's just too close not to look at.
And John Farrell doesn't like what he's hearing here.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if they think they think it's not, we're not going to look at it. They decided it's not. But now they go look at it.
Now they are going to go look.
I mean, what is this?
This may take a while.
Did he have to talk them into it again? Why did he get upset?
I don't know. I thought that was over that line.
I know. I think it's inconclusive, though, really, unless you give me some better look. But how could they be sure even to wait this long to even go to go over to talk to him about it?
Well, now it's up to New York.
Right.
It's out of their hands.
But they should always give it to New York. I mean, that's such a crucial play.
Watch the fan lunge for 2 fans. And he got his right hand up. Did that touch his right hand?
I don't know. That's what you're hoping for.
It looked like he deflected it almost straight down, which would indicate he had stopped the flight of the ball. But boy, it's going to be tough.
But it's so far away from the deck. You know what I'm saying? They're clapping like they're going to have something to do with the call.
Right.
Like if we clap loud enough, maybe we'll convince them that we think it's over.
They're watching it in New York to see if there is enough evidence to overturn the call.
That's the thing. It's so blurry too, and obviously they're reaching over, right? See how far down below it the red line it is? I mean,
well, the question is it below the red line after it's been touched?
How far are they reaching over is the thing. They seem like they're over that little
ledge. Well, if they overturn it and they rule it a home run, the game will be tied. They keep it as is. It's a double with 2 down. And David Ortiz coming up.
Wow. It did touch him, didn't it? Right?
I think he got his hand on it. I think
he got his hand on it.
Fellow on the right.
How far over is he? You know what I mean? Would it have gone on the ledge?
They have an answer here, and they're going to call it a double.
Yeah, it's inconclusive.
So John Farrell will visit with Dana DeMuth here to find out the explanation given to him from New York. John convinced the ball had been touched by the fan and was headed beyond that ledge when it was touched.
I don't blame him for being upset. I mean, this is the game. It is what it is. How can you complain? I mean, it's just a bad break if it was a home run.
Umpires obviously believing it's inconclusive. So Bogart's at second with a double, and Big Papi coming up.
I'm surprised they took so long to even review it. When they talked to Farrell earlier, it's like we decided ourselves.
And they're going to walk David with first base open.
They better.
And pitch to Chris Young instead. It's been an intentional pass. He'll reach for the 3rd time in the game. So this will put 2 men aboard. Red Sox down a run in the 8th inning. Chris Young in this one has gone 0 for 4, although hit the ball stiff in the 7th inning. A wicked line drive that was caught by Eaton, a sliding play. Hit it right on the button. And here comes ball 3. So no chance for David here.
They could do without this ball 4 stuff as far as I'm concerned.
You'd like to see the automatic?
I'd like to see the automatic.
It's been talked about. Throw down to second base.
Ooh, what is this? It's tricksters.
Bogart's not caught napping.
You don't see that every day.
So runners will be on at first and second. And Young with a chance to be a hero tonight, or at least to tie the ball game. 7-6 Chicago.
Tough guy to face. You have never faced before from where the angle that he comes from. Didn't have any problem for Bogarts, that's for sure.
Xander at second base, representing the tying run. Of course, wishing he was already inside that dugout. That's up to Young. 2 down. And outside, ball 1.
You think this kid would try to stay away.
The 1-0 to Chris Young. Waved at and missed on a slider.
Boy, this is a slider, kind of a flat slider. Doesn't really go down, it goes across.
Two on and 2 out here in the 8th. Red Sox trailing 7-6. Young trying to punch one through. It delivers, swinging a high fly ball down the left field line, headed deep into the corner, but a foul ball by just a couple of feet. My oh my.
Man, that is so close. I thought this ball was foul easy, and then you see it coming back. I'm saying this ball might hit the foul pole right in between. Oh. He's begging for that ball to be foul. He's lucky right now that he hadn't given up a home run already, and then a game winner right there. That's branch work out there. He's living in it. He wants to see that too. He wants to see that too. That's just almost, he's angry at the umpires. That's clearly foul, is it not?
Was from my angle.
I mean, it's right in that, in between, probably what, 2-3 feet in between there and the seats. It's clearly foul.
It actually struck
something. He thought it struck something, maybe.
Well, I'm telling you,
behind
I think it struck the side stands
and then kicked over
and then glanced, and it appeared like after that I think it made contact there.
Right.
And
from his angle, if you think about it. Meanwhile, it's foul.
See, now it misdirected and then came back to the right side of the foul pole, it looked like.
Past.
But it had already struck the stands up there.
Right. Well, it doesn't get too much closer than that.
So the count 1-2.
Man, he got away with one there. Oh my goodness.
Two on and the 1-2. Cut on and missed, and down he goes, strike 3.
Boy, he is a lucky man right there.
And the Red Sox strand 2. Chicago still leads at 7-6 as we go to the 9th inning. Hembree staying on to take on the number 9 man. That'll be Shuck, who will hit for Coates. And then Anderson and Eaton. And Hembree's job very simple. Keep it right where it is, 7-6. And give the Red Sox a shot to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning, when it will be Bradley, Ramirez, and Marrero due up.
I wonder if they're going to run that same kid back out there. Nobody warming up.
Boy, you know, just barely alive. He almost gave up 2 home runs. He gave up none.
He hadn't been in the big leagues that long, and I'll tell you what, he's as lucky. That's lucky enough for a year in one day.
2-0 to Shuck, and right through there. Robbie Ross Jr. firing in the bullpen and getting loose in a hurry. 7 runs, 8 hits for Chicago. They've hit 3 homers, and all of those since the 6th inning. Frazier, Cabrera, and Laurie all with home runs. So right now the White Sox closing in on 3 consecutive wins to begin this series. But the Red Sox still have time. Hembree with a 2-2. Poke foul out of play. His 10-game homestand concludes tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. Rick Porcello against James Shields, and the Red Sox go to Texas. And after that, Tampa Bay. Rangers are really playing well. Two and a soft line drive that'll find a home in left center field. And Chuck is on. Back to Young's at bat.
Yeah, the pitch sequence here. You're going to see a slider away for a ball. It comes back with a slider again. Swings and misses. Then he tries to get cute right here with another one, and he just misses this ball. I mean, and then high fastball. See you later. And he's got to be thrilled right there because he could have given up 2 home runs.
May yet have allowed 1. And a ball on Anderson. He's gone 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Rookie out of Alabama. He is 3 for 13 in this series. The 1-0 runner goes, and it's fouled back, so they play on as Shuck was the man in motion.
Yeah, not a bad idea either.
Well, it's been great to see the Red Sox swing the bats tonight as they're capable. 12 hits, 6 runs. At the moment, it's not enough. The 1-1 fouled away. Hembree following up Koji, who allowed 2 home runs and 3 runs in the 8th inning. Sox have had leads of 4-2 and 6-4. Runner holding here, check swing, the appeal, and no swing. Two and two.
Another fastball down and away.
And a 2-2. He blew him away there.
Did he ever?
One man out.
This kid's got pretty good hair. He really does. This ball's got something on it. Perfect spot. Right by him.
John Farrell coming out. And he's going to want Robbie Ross here to take on the lefty hitting Adam Eaton. So bullpen change, 7-6 Chicago here in the ninth. Back with more in just a moment. Coming out of the bullpen as we take a look at the schedule upcoming. Red Sox going to Texas tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there against the Rangers. Then it'll be on to Tampa Bay to face the Rays, we've not seen in quite a while. And by the time the Red Sox come back home, it'll be July 1st against the Angels at Fenway Park.
Ooh.
And almost halfway done.
Summer's flying by.
Here's Eaton. Swings right through the first one. Ross has been very effective. His last 13 games, 11 scoreless appearances with a 2.19 ERA.
Against left-handers, he's like invincible.
Lefties are 2 for 25 against him. At 0.80. And it's 0-2. One out. And a runner at first base for the White Sox. Eaton scored the first run of the game after taking a walk. Doled out by Erod in the first inning. Rodriguez will have no decision tonight.
Look out.
Fouled into that screen.
Thank goodness, huh?
One of those times you're really thankful it's there, the extended netting. Right down to the very right corner of that dugout.
That's a blessing right there, having that screen.
0-2 pitch. No one got up and over that screen and out of play. 7 runs, 9 hits for Chicago, 6 runs on 12 hits and an error for the Red Sox. White Sox had a 2-0 lead before the Red Sox struck for 4 in the 3rd inning. Chicago would tie it with 2 in the 6th inning. Red Sox went ahead in the 6th with a couple of runs to lead it 6-4. And the White Sox then scored 3 times in rather stunning fashion off the Sox bullpen in the 8th. Now the Red Sox have to battle from behind. Ross looking for the punch out of the lefty hitter. 1-2. Abreu on deck.
Kind of worried about that guy on deck.
Shuck single to start the inning. He's aboard at first. Abreu has had a quiet night with 3 strikeouts. And the pitch way outside and corralled by Leon. 2-2. You
don't want to lose him.
Robbie fanned Cabrera in the 10th inning on Monday night, stranding a runner at second base. Roll foul. That was his first appearance since June 11.
He's like a forgotten man down there.
And yet he ranks #1 among major league pitchers in average against a lefty. As we mentioned, under 100. 2-2 again. Roll toward Dustin Pedroia on a charge. He'll go into second base and get the out there. That'll be the second out as Eaton reaches first base. And Abreu coming up with 2 down. Hit too softly to be 2.
Pedroia knew where to go. He got to get that lead runner. But this guy's always scary. He hit the ball out of the ballpark, any part of the ballpark. He's got such great power to right center field.
1 home run against Ross. His only hit against him. He's 1 for 6.
Trying to get a fastball in.
Oh, and it hits him. He gets drilled.
It was in.
It's a fastball. That'll put runners at first and second.
Well, he really didn't want to do that. Got him right in the thigh. Boom.
That'll bring out the trainer along with Robin Ventura.
Yeah, when it drops straight down, it gets you flush.
It puts a big run at second base. First and second as Abreu hobbles to the bag. And a hitter will be Melky. Cabrera has done a lot of damage tonight. A run scoring double in the first, a base hit and a run in the 6th, and a 2-run homer in the 8th inning.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times. But that home run was scorched.
Seven to 6 Chicago here in the 9th inning.
He's seen some fastballs tonight from left-hander. Erod threw him a ton of fastballs.
Broken bad looper on one hop through for a base hit. Here comes Shuck. He's rounding. He is in to score and a huge run in to make it 8 to 6.
God, that is a huge run for them.
And the 4th RBI tonight for Cabrera.
Busted bat. You see a little slide, a little spin there. Gets in on him a little bit, but he fights it off. Gets out of the reach of Bogey. Just barely out of the reach of Bogey. Not hit that hard, so you know Eaton's going to score easily.
Four-hit game for Cabrera, 4 for 5. First and second not over yet. Todd Frazier here has belted a home run back in the 6th inning. 8 to 6 Chicago. First and second for the White Sox, and that one's going to be hit foul. Red Sox pen tonight, allowing 4 runs in the last 2 innings.
They look like they're going to go to Zach Duke to start this game. I mean, this 9th inning.
Ross with the 0-2, and it hits him. He gets drilled. And that's going to load up the bases. Second hit batsman out of the last 3 guys for Ross.
Talk about some misfires. My goodness. He's trying to hump up here, and he doesn't want to leave it. I mean, my goodness, right in the back. Nowhere to go.
He had only hit 1 batter this season coming into tonight, but he's hit 2 this inning. And they are all filled up now for Brett Lawrie.
The adrenaline is pumping. And once again, he's not used all that often. I mean, this could happen.
So Laurie becomes the 7th man to hit in the inning. And Chicago has grabbed an 8-6 lead. He homered his last time up. That was in the 8th against Koji. In there for strike. He's been up 4 times in his career against Ross, and he's 2 for 4. No place to put him. 2 down. And he will take one down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. They get the lefty Duke going again. Robertson has been used 3 consecutive games, so they'll stay away from him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a ball. And the Red Sox have due up Bradley, Ramirez, Marrero, but have more ground to make up now because it's 8-6. And the 2-1. All even.
Not a real good breaking ball right there. Just spinning up there, high in the strike zone, and Lowry's over swings.
Ross trying to end it right here with the bases loaded. The 2-2, and he gets him a swing and a miss for strike 3. But a big run comes in to score. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox need 2 to tie. Sox needing 2 to tie as they're down 8-6. And Zach Duke, who was one of their heroes from Monday night, looking for his first save.
Well, he's been in a ton of games this year. 37, over half the time he's been in these games. Doesn't always go 1 inning, but tonight he needs a 1-inning save.
Jackie Bradley to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning. Ramirez and Marrero after him. Jackie has been on base 3 times with 2 walks and an RBI single. Eaton moving over to right field, and they'll bring Shuck in to play center to beef up their outfield defense. Hammer toward the hole and through for a base hit. So a very promising start to the 9th inning. Jackie Bradley on for the 4th time in this one.
They're going to make it interesting, that's for sure. And here comes Hanley.
Hanley blistered a home run into the bullpen in the 6th inning. Can he do that again? If he can tie up the ball game here. 1 for 4 with a solo shot. The leadoff man is on against the left-hander.
Try to throw little sinkers down and in, or
he takes ball 1.
it's the home run back in the 6th inning. He hits this ball into the Red Sox bullpen on a line.
You could hang your clothes on that one. The 1-0. That's a strike. A generous call there from Estabrook.
Very generous. You don't want to swing at that.
Hanley is hitting .341 against left-handers.
That ball was never a strike.
Big cut, went for the downs there, and it's 1-2.
Boy, he's not afraid to throw that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at this. Cross seamer inside to a right-handed hitter. That's gutsy now. He sets up that little fade ball away.
Marrero on deck, and Hanley will ask for time. Ramirez has good numbers against this guy. .438 and with a home run.
Damage.
Made him dance a bit to get out of the way. 2-2. Jackie Bradley at first. 8-6 Chicago in the 9th. Rocco looking on. He'll be at Pawtucket tomorrow. Had a couple of more games in his rehab before rejoining the team.
Backdoor breaking ball down and in.
2-2, and he would not chase.
No.
3-2.
This crowd is into it.
Duke with a 3-2 pitch. And struck him on looking. Home plate umpire Estabrook said it was on the corner to catch him. 1 man out.
This ball I thought was inside because he's set up outside. He has to reach all the way over. They normally don't call that. See where he's set up? He reaches all the way across. Did that look like a ball or what? It shows up on the zone as a strike, but
Hanley disagreed vehemently. He is out, and here's Marrero. And Bradley back in.
what's he thrown over there for? Keep the double play in order.
Sandy Leon on deck. He's walked 3 times tonight.
Change up. He's trying to get him roll over.
1-0. Marrero with a base hit his last time up. Had some good looking swings. Has some experience against Duke. 1 for 3 off him. And he pokes that one foul to make it 1-1.
Man, that was a big strikeout. That's ball 4. That's a mess on their hands.
The 1-1 from Duke. Fouled away, caught a piece of his leg. So 1-2 on Marrero. Red Sox pounded out 13 hits tonight. You need a couple more. Here comes the 1-2.
Yes, he did.
He went. According to the home plate umpire, that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks by Duke.
Boy, this ball was not. This is not a pretty swing whatsoever. Just could not hold up on a breaking ball.
So Sandy Leon will climb on in, having walked 3 times and hit into a fielder's choice. 10 for 17 on the year. And looking to stay hot right now, get the inning to Mookie Betts, who is on deck.
You got to get it to Mookie.
Runner goes, swinging a chopper to Anderson at short. He scoops it up, and that will do it. That is a tough loss for the Boston Red Sox tonight.
Terrible.
A lot of offense, but once again fall to Chicago White Sox, who have won the first 3 games of this series. TC final tonight 8-6.